Welcome to the Respawn Station podcast. I forgot the other part of the intro. That's just staying in. Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to the Respawn Station podcast. I'm your host, Nick Sivak, and I'm joined by Kandula.
Hello, everybody.
And this week, we got quite a bit of news topics. We just had a Sony State of Play today that we're going to be talking about. Kojima's revealing some stuff about future games that we're going to be talking about. And we're also going to be talking about PlayStation selling merch to real gamers. So all that and more to come in this week's podcast. But like always,
sorry, hold on. Sorry to break it to the crowd. All right, only real gamers can watch this podcast. If you do not have the platinum to Grinch Saves Christmas on the PlayStation 5, please stop watching right now. All right, go ahead. Now that we got the real gamers on.
Yes. Normally, we do like to start this podcast off by asking each other a very important question, which is what we've been playing. So, Sri, what have you been playing recently?
Oh, man. So, first of all, I need to flashbang myself again so that I have everything ready, because, gosh, that was a hell of a start to the episode. It was a real wake-up call. I have... Nick, let me tell you, a little story, right? I feel like sometimes I don't appreciate the little things. And recently I've come to realize that when I was in high school, or even before that, when I used to watch YouTube videos, I was always like, man, it would be so cool to because I was still playing video games, but the idea of I could make videos of me playing video games, and that was the and I couldn't do that. So back in the day, I would do it when my parents were out shopping for groceries, and that gave me a 2-hour window every week to be fucking cram out the videos. Mm-hmm. If you go back to my old, probably 15 year old videos to 10-year-old videos, you there'll be episodes or videos where I'll be in the middle of something and I'll be like, yeah, okay guys, I gotta go, thanks for watching, have a good day, bye. And then I'd end it is because I could hear the garage door opening. I was like, oh shit, the time's almost up. But now I'm in a place where I can just record the games and play it, and I can edit it into what I want. And you know what? I was appreciating that recently. I just played Wolfenstein. Obviously, we talked about that. The full review is on respawnstation.com. You can read all about it. And so right off of the back of that, I started a new game. But first, let me see what I've been playing before that. So I talked a little bit about Pokemon Shield, and I've went on a little trip earlier this weekend or last weekend, and so I played more Pokemon Shield. I'm about 15 hours into it, 4 or maybe 5 gym badges,
nice.
And yeah, still unremarkable overall. Just poor performance. Just looks real bad at times. Just no texture quality. I don't understand how this series. I'm hoping Legend ZA, which in the last time we looked at it, seemed a little bit better, kind of at least fidelity-wise, if I could say that. But yeah, not great, if not for the fact that it was being just absolutely carried by the Pokemon brand alone. Mm. But that being said, Nick, you showed up to my Pokemon card opening stream earlier, and man, that went terribly for me. Absolute dumbass moves. If you haven't seen it, I essentially were you there for the context of that, Nick? The absolute.
I saw your reaction to the end of something, but no, I did not have the context to what was causing
so essentially,
it.
I was chatting and I was opening up packs. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I had a website up, and I was keeping track of how many cards I had in the set. There's 30 cards total. So I was going through and I was like, man, I need 2 more, and I finished the set. So I was opening these packs, and I was getting to the last 10 packs, and I was like, fuck, I hope the cards are in here, right? I'm at this point I'm delusional. And so I'm opening it, and finally, like the 10th to last pack, I open it and I find the last card. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. And so I had this huge celebration. And then I began the process of like sifting through all the cards because I had like a stack this big.
Hmm.
And I was putting it into the binder and organizing it. And I realized I already pulled those cards sometime in the first half of that stream. So I was searching for cards I already had. And creating needless tension. But you know what? I'm a filmmaker. What can I say? The creating of that drama is in my blood. So anyway, that was a fun way to explore the TCG. I've heard this Pokemon TCG Pocket app came out as well. That I'm essentially doing that in real life. So what can I say? It's a decent game.
Hmm.
Just waste of money though. Anyway, all that to say, the real game that I've been playing, new game that I've been playing, has been Tomb Raider, the definitive edition.
Oh,
This is
nice.
the 2013 game, but and I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's the 2013 game. It came out 1 year before Wolfenstein, which I just finished. But it actually turns out that the definitive edition that came out in 2014. So both 2014 games. I'm going back to back. Maybe I'll just play best of 2014.
Hmm.
I'm just catching up at this point. And man, wow, what a good game. What a like not. Have you played it?
I played it on the 360. So I played the
Yeah,
non-definitive edition version.
yeah.
Probably around that time, 2014, 15 or so. So it kind of like Wolfenstein. It's been a while since I've played it, but I have played it.
Yeah, dude, it's not what I expected, and I'm only about probably a third, maybe yeah, I'd say a third of the way into the game. So a good 4 hours or so, and it's not at all what I expected because you think of Tomb Raider and kind of what that character and what that series means, and it's a lot of it is like, oh, it's like Uncharted, or Indiana Jones, maybe kind of an older comparison, but like,
Hmm.
especially with this Tomb Raider reboot from Crystal Dynamics, it really was like, oh, it's Uncharted, but with Lara Croft, and I think that's what I've heard. I don't, in the over the last few years, that's what I heard a lot when I hear people talking about it, and it's really it's actually not quite a lot. It's not that a lot because first of all, you get thrown right into it, and it doesn't at all for like at least the first start of the game. It doesn't have the world is your oyster, like fucking
Hmm.
explore. It's like she's getting brutally beaten and bruised and battered, and like she Nick, I think in the first hour and a half of the game, her ship gets wrecked. She gets rocked in the head until like so she passes out, wakes up, gets impaled by an iron rod, steps on a fucking bear trap, and gets attacked by wolves. Like all of this within like she's getting thrown, like pulled through the fucking. I don't know what the metaphor is, or the saying is. The rakes, I don't know what I don't
Going
know. Is
through
that
the
the word?
ringer.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not at all like a man. It's like a I'd go vacation there kind of vibes,
No,
which was a
very
surprise.
much not that.
And then I think the game actually has a lot more in common with another Naughty Dog game, The Last of Us, which came out the same year. And in terms of it's a much darker tone and atmosphere. There's some like jump scares in there just for the hell of it. And it kind of has a lot more reliance on stealth. I feel like there's um I could be wrong, but I feel like I even like heard some NPCs kind of like yelling at each other, being like, "Oh no, you died," like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's surprisingly invested in this game, and I can't believe it. I definitely have some games to review if I wanted to, for like upcoming games. But personally, I feel like I've just been wanting to go through my backlog, and somehow I'm two for two in games that I think are keeping my interest and actually like kind of making me think. Also, I was reading, as I do, I was looking through like the notes and stuff that I find and kind of reading through. And there's one that I found that was like, um, it seems like at some point, uh, in World War II, the Nazis had tried to find the island,
Mm.
and I was like, holy shit, it's Wolfenstein all over again. The fuck, I can't escape these goddamn Nazis.
uh, yeah,
But yeah.
I played the game a while ago, like I said, and surprisingly, like I enjoyed it, like what I played of it. But it's the only one of this new like trilogy that they did that I've actually
Do you
played.
know what this trilogy was called?
Uh,
Here's
I feel like I do, but I
got that.
don't.
I did not know. I was looking it up, and it's called the Survivor trilogy, which
Okay.
was interesting. I didn't know that it was. I thought I just thought it was like the Laura Croft trilogy or something.
Mm.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've always wanted to play the follow-ups, like at least Rise of the Tomb Raider, because I'm like a sucker for like winter themes and stuff, and I know that that's like primarily like a snowy kind of game. So I've always wanted to play the follow-up at least, but yeah, I've just never really gotten around to them, unfortunately.
I will kind of also say that it's I think Laura Croft has historically been a very like sexualized female character, right? And
Hmm.
I feel like that goes for most big female characters. But uh, it's unique in this one because they don't hide like they're not trying to move away from the fact that she's like a woman and that like so like there is inherently just like the like there's a like one of the villains early on is like try like just getting his hands all over her and stuff, and she's like it definitely makes you feel like, oh yeah, she's a woman, but like man, that's the least that you can't worry about that right now. Like
Hmm.
there's some shitty shit going on. um and I think it's they handle that in a way that like kind of like yeah, like it's definitely there, but we try to move past it or like kind of like give you more of an experience outside of that
That's not the only
doesn't
character defining
right, and
trait.
which I that was like cool because again this is a character that's known for her art assets. So yeah, very very interesting.
Yeah, this game.
I find myself digging into games a lot more nowadays. I don't know if it's I don't know, maybe I'm just those wisdom tooth are gone and all of a sudden, man, I don't know what the hell's happening. But I find it more interesting to like chew on a game. Maybe I'm only playing games currently that feel like I can chew on.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, this game in recent memory for me is just defined by Conan, Clueless Gamer, back when Conan O'Brien did
Yeah.
that, because he played it, and like obviously it's basically just like a 10-minute montage of him dying and reacting to all the death animations. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so funny.
brutal. There's like like right away. There's like I did a quick time event wrong, and I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be game over. But like then you see her getting crushed by a fucking boulder, and it's like, oh, and like even that's another thing that like kind of compares it to the Last of Us is like there's a scene actually with that guy that I was telling you about, like it's like handsy with Laura. You have a back and forth, and then she like fights him, and then there like it comes to a point where like the gun is like kind of being waved back and forth, and if you do it enough, it goes over to the bad guy, and then boom, it goes off. And like it's like they don't cut away. They don't like they're not like you can see the guy's fucking face go, and then he's like still twitching a little bit. Like it's brutal in a way that like Uncharted is never willing to go, that far.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like the Uncharted comparisons are really in the like, oh, you explore a place that's, not an urban area, and there's other places where you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
puzzles and shoot guns. Like that's kind of like the extent of the comparison. But I hadn't even really thought about the Last of Us comparisons, but you're totally right with how like, just like from what I remember, like healing and like the very like scrap kind of
Yeah, yeah,
look
yeah.
everything has, and like the how like scrappy and battered the
And
weapons and everything are.
and you got to get to those like I mean it's a survival game more so too because like so you got to get to the campfires in order to like upgrade your weapons up and put your skill
Hmm.
points in the right places to go back out and yeah no it's if you haven't played it yet I highly recommend it. Maybe I think it would have been a great I mean you already played it so I guess it wouldn't have worked but retrograde episode I think
Hmm.
to really dig into it but we got to come up with a good one. Whatever we do for the return of retrograde, we got to pick a solid game. Maybe like one. that we'll talk about later in this episode. But Nick, that's enough about me. I'm still over here fucking dissecting the decisions that the Pokemon Company made for Pokemon Shield. Clearly, it's some sort of a new age brain control technology for how people swallowed that shit up. But what are you playing, my friend?
I have been playing, or I finished, I should say, playing Outrun 2. I didn't fully complete the game, we'll say, because whenever I was playing on the...
Get out of my podcast. What are you doing?
Whenever I joined your Pokemon stream, I was playing a bit of it, and I had mentioned that there's a mission mode in the game. And so there's a giant grid, essentially, of each of the different stages that you're able to come across, and in each stage they have 6 challenges, and they rank from easy to hard depending on which stage you go to. And I got pretty much to the last set of challenges, but essentially it's just these little mini game kind of things that I mentioned last week on the different stages. And then they just kind of reuse that concept constantly. So one of them might be drift for as long as you can. So it's an entire course where you're just drifting around every corner for as much as you can. One of them might be a one-on-one race with another racer. Stuff like that. So I had gotten through most of these challenges and well past the point where I've seen every level. I've unlocked pretty much all the cars that I think that I can unlock. I've seen every mini game, so it's just doing the same mini games on different stages. And then it just got to a point where with some of these events, on the races specifically, it's the kind of thing where it's you might be doing a 3-minute race, be perfectly fine for 2.5 minutes, make one mistake, and then the AI just races right past you and wins. And then you have to redo it 6 times. And I was you know what? I think I've experienced the breadth of this game. I've been able to finish it on arcade mode a couple of times. I've done most of the challenges, saw all the unlocks. I think I'm good with Outrun 2. So, yeah, it's despite those frustrations with the AI or whatever, it's a really fun arcade racing game. It's probably one of the most fun I've had with specifically an arcade racing game in a long time. I think the art direction holds up really well, especially for a game of that OG Xbox PS2 kind of era. The frame rate was great. The cars are they're all Ferraris, but they just kind of reflections and lighting and stuff in those games just have a certain look to them that I really enjoyed. So overall, I had a really fun time with it. There is another version of it that's a bit harder to come by on PS2 and Xbox called Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. And it's an expanded version of the game with new levels, new tracks, new mini games, that sort of stuff. I would like to play that at some point. But like I said, that game's kind of a pretty rare one. I think it's at least $100 on PS2. So it's...
Oh, damn.
It's pretty pricey if you want to get that one, but maybe someday, if luck would have it, and I can get it on Xbox or something like that, I'd like to give it a try, because I definitely had a lot of fun playing this one.
Hell yeah.
The other game that I've continued playing is Fallout New Vegas. This will kind of be
I see those DLCs being added.
Yeah, I don't know if you think it's cheating or not on GG to add DLCs to your complete list. I think it counts, because some of those DLCs for Bethesda games and stuff
pretty
are
hefty.
10 hours. So
I'm
definitely inflating those numbers a little bit on my completion for this year. But
and it's definitely a competition by the end of the year. You got to come back, and listen to the episode. We'll contrast our lists.
Mm-hmm.
My list is definitely getting skewed from these DLCs here, but
yeah,
I
think it's funny because I was looking at my list again. It's a stupid thing to have any sort of concern or give any sort of thought about.
Yeah.
But I was it's September and I only have 23 games completed. That's I'm gonna be nowhere near what I normally play in a year, but it all depends on how long the games are that you play, really. That really affects that.
And also you have that's something that I think we talked about before, but you update your list to completed,
Mm-hmm.
and I just do games that I've played. So
Yeah.
I'm at 48 games this year, and so like definitely I've completed a lot. But I would be curious, like, what was your number? You said 28.
I think I'm around like 25 or 26 after some of the DLCs
Oh,
have been
okay, okay.
added. But yeah.
Yeah, so you might actually be higher than me, even though I've played more games. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, as you
But
mentioned,
have you played Fallout New Vegas DLC before, or is it like are you revisiting, or is it your first time?
revisiting. For
Okay.
Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, this is gonna be me handing in, flashing my nerd card here. For those two games specifically, I have like full achievement completion on each version. So I have the PC, PS3, and 360 versions, where I did all DLCs, all achievements, all trophies, that sort of
Damn.
thing.
Okay. Your nerd card beats my shiny nerd card. Go ahead.
So yeah, this is a revisit, but kind of the same thing. I haven't played them since 2015 or so, like fully. So it's been a while. So I get to re-explore and familiarize myself with this content. And like you mentioned, more recently in the last couple weeks, it's been a lot of the DLCs I've been getting into. So there's New Vegas has 4 story expansions. There's Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. And whenever I play them, I do like to play them in release order. So that's in the order I just said: Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, Lonesome Road. And I've finished Dead Money and Honest Hearts, and just today I started Old World Blues. And Dead Money is an interesting DLC. In the community, the Fallout community, I think a lot of people don't love it just because it's a bit of a challenging DLC for some people. But basically, I really like the setup where you get drawn to this mysterious radio signal in this bunker, and then essentially you're knocked out and you wake up in this kind of like villa area, and you have a bomb collar strapped to you, and there's this guy that has gathered a bunch of people up to try to break into the Sierra Madre casino, and he wants to basically plan this heist or whatever that he's like using you as a puppet with. And if you go off the beaten path, if you like conspire against me, like I'll just blow up the bomb collar and I'll kill you. And it like takes away all your gear, so you have to like really scavenge supplies and weapons and stuff on the fly. There's like these weird gas mask wearing freaks that like are attacking you constantly. And like also the levels are very like maze like, because like a lot of the villas look very similar, so you're trying to go through all these environments until you ultimately get to the casino, where then you have to do a bunch of other things to get further in to this vault area essentially.
So does he? Because can you actually conspire against him, or is he like listening and he just fucking blows you? Like you just blow up if you try to do something.
So it definitely follows like a structure. So like there are quests that lead you to the Sierra Madre. Then you're in the Sierra Madre. There's more quests in there that you do ultimately to go to the end.
Okay.
There's different variances in the quests themselves on how you can do certain things. So like there's this one, we'll just say for lack of not getting into lore things, there's like a super mutant character that has a bipolar disorder. So essentially he thinks he's one person 1 minute, and then once you say a specific thing or play a specific audio recording, he'll switch personalities. And so sometimes you can be like, I want this personality to do this goal, I'll have to go do this quest. Or if I have the other personality as this, I'll have to do something else. So there's certain variants that you can do there, but it's all to like feed into the main kind of like heist narrative. What's fun is at the end, there's a lot of choice of how you want to do it. So you can screw this guy over. Eventually, there's a part where a big theme of Dead Money is letting go. And it's a bit of a meme in the community now, because there's a part where once you get to the vault, not to spoil it, but it's 20-year-old game at this point. basically you can steal these gold bars, and there's like 37, I think, in the vault. If you pick up 3 of them, it's pretty much like over encumbering you. Like, they're super heavy, but they're also extremely valuable. But people found out if you time it just right, you can steal all of the gold bars, slowly walk and sneak your way around, and basically trap the dude in the vault and get out with all the gold bars. So that's what I usually end up doing, because once you do that, you basically never have to worry about money ever again in the game.
Sure, yeah.
But like, that's like the fun kind of one solution you can get. You can just wait for him to come down and just kill him right in the moment and like get away. You can have, there's even a solution where the vault door can lock behind you if you select a certain chain of things on the computer terminal, and if you do that, like, your game will just end. Essentially, it's like you were stuck in the vault for the rest of your days.
Damn.
So
yeah.
There's some really cool like solutions to the DLC, and it's one of my favorites. I really do like the theming and how it kind of strips back a lot of your gear and stuff and forces you to kind of be really scavengery and like dig in every corner for, you know, healing items or ammo or anything like that. So I really like that one. Honest Hearts is, the way that I described it to my friends is, every time I play it, I go into it thinking like, maybe I'll like it more this time, and every time I play it, I'm like, man, it's really kind of boring. Like, it has some interesting characters and some interesting themes. It's very like about like religion and Christianity specifically, and like, you know, it's these group of tribals that are in Utah, in Zion, you know, National Park or whatever. That's kind of where it's set. And the actual setting is pretty cool. It's a bit more luscious. There's like actual trees and fresh water and stuff in this area. But the enemies are not really that interesting to fight. The story isn't really that interesting to me specifically. And then the exploration is also kind of boring, because pretty much all you're finding are like caves and bridges and campgrounds. And it's like, realistically, like, yeah, that's what you'd find out in like, you know, these kind of areas.
Yeah, sure.
It's just not like the most gripping gameplay wise. Like, there's some good, you know, writing and some good lines. If you're familiar, if you've ever like just casually looked at New Vegas and you see a guy with a bunch of white bandages wrapped around him, that's a character from this DLC, and he has like story significance to, you know, the main game and everything. And so like some of his lines are pretty interesting, and there's like a little side story that you learn about this, you know, basically this survivor that's out in the caves that's trying to protect different groups of people over time. And so like some of those side stories are pretty interesting, but it's really kind of just grasping at straws while you're like, okay, like, I've found my 10th cave. Let's go in here and see what, you know, geckos and stuff that I can shoot. So it's a fine DLC. There's some cool weapons that you can get and everything, but it's easily my least favorite every time I play through the game, and it's just, it never really gets any better than that.
Sure.
Old World Blues, I have barely started. The one thing that always sticks in my head about it is I remember that there's a conversation at the very start that feels like it goes on forever. I was seriously in this conversation for like 20 minutes today before they like gave me back control to go and, you know, go around. So that was pretty much the extent of what I started today. But tone wise and, you know, experience with Old World Blues, it is one of the better DLCs. I think it's like a fan favorite at this point. It's very like schlocky and like, you know, robo themed. There's these like brains in jars of these scientists, but they've like kind of gone crazy and are like, you know, wanting you to go do these things for them, but it's very like pulp science kind of stuff. Like the main bad guy comes on the screen and he's like, "It is I, Dr. Mobius," and stuff like that. So it definitely goes into the like tongue-in-cheek, like goofy aspect of Fallout, which is still, you know, cool. Like the entire go ahead.
No, it was a little bit off topic, but I'll let you finish. We'll put a pin in that part. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of the other like goofy kind of, you know, setup things is that when you wake up in this DLC, you've essentially been lobotomized. Like they took your brain out, they took your heart and your spine out, but you get like perks that like it's like your head can't be crippled anymore.
Of course.
And stuff like that. So like part of like the goal of Old World Blues is tracking down this Dr. Mobius and getting your brain back. So it's just like it's very goofy, and if I remember right, I think you get to have a conversation with your brain at the end of it. So it's like some really weird kind of like goofy stuff that you get into with this one.
So what I was gonna say was, you kind of mentioned the way that villain comes in, and I think that the performances of Fallout games, I mean, obviously, I think because they're an RPG of a certain size, there's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
But like by and large, for me, I feel like so many of them, I feel like they understand the character when they're doing the voices, so they really bring out like there's a lot of dimension to it, and I feel like like Fallout would still be cool, but like it would not be as enticing or charming if it didn't have the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's been on my mind, because I don't understand why the fuck Pokemon doesn't have voice acting. It has all of the eccentricities of that, and it has character dialogue that's written like just weird as hell, like just completely left field writing that would be so good if there was just like a voice kind of bringing it to life instead of just like like
Mm-hmm.
like shit like that. It's like and then there's like a text box that says the text anyway.
Don't count it out like as don't I guess never say never, because it took until Breath of the Wild for Zelda to get voiced characters. So
that's
like,
true. That's true.
And that's Zelda.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I mean, Pokemon already got its Breath of the Wild, all right? Legends Arceus has been out. I think that's the one people compare to that the Breath of the Wild, which again, still crazy. But anyway, yeah, dude, I feel like every time we talk about Fallout, you keep making me want to jump into to Fallout New Vegas. It's just I have to like know when I'm going to commit to it, because I've started that game. I don't know how many times I've created so many new saves, and then I'll play for a bit and I'll be like so good, and I'll be like, God, I just need to like focus on it, and now is not the time. And then I'll put it away and I'll forget about it, and then I'll be like, oh, I got to start over now because it's been so long since I did the last one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like I'm still enjoying it. Like, obviously, it's one of my favorite games of all time, right? I'm also like 42 hours in to this playthrough or whatever. I still have two DLCs to do, and like probably 25% of the map still to explore in the base game. And so it's like I still have like a good amount of content. Like, I'm hoping that I can get it kind of cleaned up before October starts, but like that's pretty optimistic thinking.
Yeah,
for me.
I was gonna say I thought you'd be able to like I thought you'd get through it, and then you'd have the cushion time before the Outer Worlds 2 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're pushing right up against that release date.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an interesting release calendar. And I guess we can transition to news as we, unless you have more about Fallout New Vegas.
Nah, that was pretty much it. Looking forward to getting across the finish line, but still just kind of savoring each moment that I can with it. So can't wait for season 2. The further I play.
Hell yeah. Come back for more every week to see how much Nick progresses in his Fallout New Vegas journey. Comment down below what episode do you think he'll finish on. That'd be a good one. Or just like write the episode number, like he'll on episode. Where are we now? 50.
This is
no 60.
Yeah, as far as what my project files say, I think this is 62 or 63.
62. Yeah, I agree. So on episode 65, he will finish. Roll it up into a little circle, put it into a glass bottle, throw it into the ocean.
You're probably not far off on that. Like, I think that's probably realistically where I'll be done.
Yeah. But no, so okay, so talking about the news, first of all, I guess we'll kind of ease into it because there's quite a few games coming out as we head into October for the spooky season. Which honestly, Nick, you gotta step on it, man. The spooky season's here, and you're falling behind with the New Vegas. We got to play some spooky games.
I did install some games, so I am prepared on that front.
Ooh,
But
okay. Well, what's the tease? What's the tease? What are potential next? We come back next week, and what are you gonna be playing?
the tease is one of the games I installed is a follow-up to a retrograde game. Wait, did we do retro? I don't know if we did retrograde on it. Scratch that. That was made up. One of
Is
the
it
games is
Dragon Age 2? Is that what you're playing?
No, see, that's only a horror game for you because of all those problems that you had. But
Yeah.
the real tease is one of the games is a remaster of a all-time supreme survival horror classic, and one of them is a sequel to a game that we talked about in depth on the podcast. Is how I'll phrase that.
Wow. Okay. Cryptic. I again, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with my backlog. I don't know what my next decision will be, but I know that I want to play some horror games this year because last year I was moving, I was getting married, like all this fucking just stuff. So this year I definitely want to play some horror games. There's a lot on my list. I actually was scrolling through my backlog. And these are these are my strong backlog games, like ones that I know. Like when I made this account for by the way, we use GG. We're not sponsored or anything, though we probably should be at this point. um so when I made this account, I made sure to only include accounts or games that are I'm like, okay, there's a chance that I'll be actively tackle those kind of games. Doom's already crossed off the list. Tomb Raider's on the list, so I'm getting that off. Wolfenstein. So I'm making good progress here. But just scrolling through the horror games that are here, Resident Evil 4, Alien Isolation. Fuck, dude, that game's so fucking scary. Soma, Alan Wake 2, I guess Alan Wake 1 as well. Silent Hill 2, Metro 2033, depending on how you look at it. Duke Nukem Forever, depending on how you look at it. And I think that's it.
Duke Nukem Forever, that's a game that I forget that I have. I bought that a while ago, and like every single time I'm looking at my shelf, I'm like, oh yeah, I Duke Nukem.
Yeah. What part of the low angle shot of Duke grabbing his crotch with a pistol? Can you isn't that burned into your brain?
Mm-hmm.
Have we talked about this? That like one of my first, like I remember one of the first times I ever had like someone go pick up a pre-order. I don't know, it might be V1st, but I had a friend who pre-ordered that game, and he's like, "Oh, I've been looking forward to this game, man." In hindsight, I don't know how he was looking forward to that game. We were both in like middle school, and that game was in development longer than we were both born, I think. But either way, he was like, "I've been looking forward to it." So he pre-ordered it back when it wasn't illegal to pre-order, and then we went to pick it up. We got home, like we went to his house, and we started playing it. And I remember I think the first thing you do in that game is you're taking a piss. And I was like, God, what is happening? What is this video game? I hadn't experienced that before. My virgin eyes had only seen Assassin's Creed running on the DS Lite, so it was a shock. But yeah. Anyway, Duke Nukem Forever. I definitely will play that game one day.
Retrograde.
Just because he looked forward to it for so long, I was like, I gotta at least experience it for his excitement, because he never finished it. But anyway, all right. So the big game that is coming out this month, though, for kind of horror game, is Silent Hill F. Speaking of Silent Hill 2 being on my list, man, the reviews are out. Seems generally positive. And it seems that the big risk that they took in hiring essentially a visual novel writer, granted a visual novel writer that was known for like deep and dark, just like fucked up storylines and stuff. That risk that they took on hiring him was paid off. It seems. Again, we'll see how like the general populace kind of reacts to it, but yeah, like it clearly when you take something like that, when you give someone who's working in one medium so clearly and then give them a budget, much bigger budget than just a visual novel, and say like, yeah, go to town. You have freedom of creation here, and it can go either like super well or super not well depending on how it goes. And it seems that it works well, and they've adapted to the kind of the medium well. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's just a matter of like, will I be playing it now? I don't know. Oh, Callisto Protocol. Of course, I got to finish the second half of that game one day. I'll do it.
Yeah, I saw some impressions on Silent Hill F. The ones that I was watching were saying, it's definitely a very like, it's very gameplay. Like it has a lot of mechanics in it, which is not usually the case for a Silent Hill game. Not to say that they don't have any mechanics, but like there's like dodging and like melee attacks and stamina and stuff like that. So,
I mean, it's pretty much a Souls-like, right? I mean, that's what we're establishing.
Yeah, everything's a Souls-like now.
Health bar, stamina, dodging. I mean, it's a Souls-like, guys. Let's just face it.
It's like the people that play Souls games that don't ever summon or don't do anything. It's just like, well, you just turn off your HUD. Everything's a Souls-like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that the narrative is pretty interesting. And yeah, I'm intrigued.
Is this one you'll step into?
Probably not right now. There's some other stuff that I want to play that I don't think that this is quite high enough on my desire to play list. It's like I want to play it at some point, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be hopping in on this one, sadly.
Dang. Well, find out what we play by subscribing to the podcast and tuning in we also got Ghost of Tsushima. I'm just going through real fast. Sorry, not Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. Excuse me. Which we'll talk about a little bit later. Battlefield 6, which we'll talk about later. Pokemon Legends ZA. I've already talked about that. Tormented Souls 2. Shout out to anyone who remembers Tormented Souls 1. Quick turnaround on that one. Not a lot of horror games, actually. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. I stand corrected. Never mind. Pretty intense stuff in there. And then Keeper as well from... not Housemarque. Oh, boy.
Double Fine.
Double Fine. There we go. Anyway. Speaking of...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was going to say speaking of...
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Black Ops 7, the beta, they just had some trailers come out for specifically zombies mode over the last couple of days. And with the announcement that zombies is going to be playable in the Black Ops 7 beta, which I believe is the first time that that's ever been the case.
Yeah.
It's always been multiplayer, and, I think that's it. So getting zombies is pretty cool. I watched a couple of these trailers, and it looks neat. I always like how far they kind of take it creatively in zombies. Obviously some games more so than others, from what I've played over the years, but I like that they're really kind of like leaning into that with these newer games. And it's just like, yeah, there's monster vehicles now. The Pack-a-Punch is your jet booster, and you drive it around with a flaming skull. Like, surprisingly enough, I don't know if you feel the same way, but watching this most recent trailer for zombies, it reminded me of Toxic Commando. Like all the people going into a car,
sure.
And like zombies everywhere and
Yeah.
stuff. Obviously very different types of games here, but cool to see.
And the key difference being the zombies is Black Ops 7 is coming out. We don't know about Toxic Commando. That game could be canceled. So
yep. But yeah, cool to see that you'll get a little bit extra playtime on something else on the beta if you're getting in there. I know you have a code, right, from Gamescom, from the milkshakes.
I drank some yummy milkshakes for it, man. Yeah, I'll definitely try to get some hands on with it. Um, but at the same time, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games, and will it be interesting? What's your take on demos? I feel like you played more demos than me. I feel like I'm always like, I'll just play the game. I'll just wait for the game. But I know you
It's
occasionally be like, oh, I checked out this demo.
Yeah, it depends on A, if it's a game that I'm interested in, and B, what else I'm playing around that time. Because sometimes, like, for instance, right now, like if I finish like a long game like Fallout New Vegas, sometimes I do just want some quick stuff to, like, kind of whet my appetite with certain things, and demos I feel really slot into that part of my gaming before I get into like another big game or like another, medium-sized game. So if it's something that I'm like really interested in, and it's like, oh, I really want to see if this is actually something I'm going to be interested in when it comes out, or if it's going to be something that I might just kind of brush off. I do think that they're very helpful in that way. I don't play them like all the time, but every once in a while, as I've mentioned on here, like Dead as Disco is a perfect example. Like, I heard of that game, played the demo, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I'm definitely buying this whenever it comes out, whenever that ends up being. So,
yeah. All right. Oh, fair enough. All right. Now, where do we go from here? Because we got a week that there's quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So Nick,
yeah,
take it away.
let's hit out some of these quicker topics, I think, here.
Sure.
Earlier this week, a pseudo sequel follow up kind of game to Bomb Rush Cyberpunk got announced, called Hyperfunk. And I've not played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk yet. I've been wanting to play it, and I've heard good things about it. It's obviously
you haven't? I feel like that was right up your alley.
Yeah, it's a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. So art wise, it's very colorful, very vibrant, cell shaded kind of look. And this trailer uses the same visual style. It looks like it's using similar assets and everything, but it seems like it is going to be even more up my alley than Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, in that it is about doing combos, and the higher you get your combo meter, the faster you're able to go, which sounds really interesting and really arcadey. I just pulled a little Steam quote because you can wishlist the game on Steam right now. And the first line in the little description is, Hyperfunk is 2 seconds per second of evolved funk style. And I love that description. So
2 seconds of a second evolve funk style.
And
I don't know. That might be a first sentence. I might be like a. I don't know if those words have ever been put together in that order before.
Yeah, a lot of the comments on the trailer are like, I guess there were some popular Bomb Rush Cyberpunk mods that did something similar, and they're like, oh, they're just making a game out of the like hyperspeed mods and stuff. So if that's the case, if that's where the fun really kind of lands, then that sounds really exciting for like a follow-up game. So,
dang, Hyperfunk again, good name. You get the word funk in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's gonna be a funkin' good time.
Following that, obviously TGS is also going on right now, Tokyo Game Show. So we're going to be getting a bunch of different news this week, and we've already started with RGG Studio. They announced Yakuza Kiwami 3, which is their kind of like remasterings of the original Yakuza games. And this time around, there's also like a new expansion called Dark Ties that will be bundled in with Kiwami 3. And apparently you can select whether you want to start Kiwami 3 or this expansion right from the get-go. So you don't really need to get through the base game or anything like that. You can just start the new content if you want to do that. So that was pretty cool. There's going to be like new mini games, new side stories, that sort of stuff that they also put in there. So the Yakuza train continues chugging down the tracks.
Their output is crazy. The RGG team.
Not to mention that they also announced, other console ports of Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and all this other stuff. So, yeah.
I wonder if like their team is just that massive, or if their pipeline is that fucking just polished. You know what I mean?
Maybe
like
both, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
let's get the stinker out of the way again. Xbox back in the news. Goes
Wah, wah, wah,
everybody put your shocked face
wah.
on. But Series X and S prices are going up again in the US. Uh, most of these, like the Series S models, are going up about $20. So the white 512 gig one, that's going from $380 to $400. The black Series S, the 1 terabyte, is going from $430 to $450.
By the way, that's a full for the Xbox Series S. That's a full $100 difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly certain it was $299 launch price for that thing.
Yeah. The digital Series X is going from $550 to $600. The normal disc model Series X is going from $500 to $650. And
$650.
the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition Series X is going from $730 to $800, which I wasn't even really aware of that. Like, I guess that got announced a while ago, but
Oh yeah, it's been out. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's it's so fascinating. We've talked about Xbox before. We've talked about, I mean, even a few episodes ago, we did a whole thing about like the future of console gaming. Do people even want to play on consoles? That's a good episode. You can go back and listen to that. But one of the things that I think kind of comes up whenever we talk about Xbox is, and we're trying not to beat a dead horse with an Xbox, but like, how is it possibly like? I get, dude. I get the tariffs suck ass. I get that, like, it's screwing a lot of businesses. But at this point, and by the way, before anyone's like, it's not the tariffs. It's. I'm pretty sure it's only in the U.S. that this is the prices are getting raised. So let's put that in perspective. But no, who are these for? Like, who's buying? And also, the U.S. is the prime market for they're not buying the stuff in Japan. Xboxes aren't worth anything in Japan. So like, yeah, like who are these for? Who are they expecting $400 for a freaking Xbox Series S when it's already known for bottlenecking the industry and to a certain degree? And
I feel like at a certain point, like they're just going to raise the prices, and it's like, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can pull them back down once all of this stuff kind of blows over, and then people will buy them again. Because at a certain point, it's like, why stop at $800? Just make it like $2,000 at this point. Like, it really won't matter that much, I feel.
Yeah, dude. At this point, I mean, the next Xbox is just gonna be launched at $1,000.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially if this stuff is still in place in the next 2 years or whatever when these are coming out. Like, yeah, these consoles are going to be the most expensive ever. It's going to suck.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah. So there you go. There's the poopy news for the day. And then we move on
to Kojima. Sri, I really want to hear your thoughts on some of this stuff because Kojima Productions, they put on a... what was it called? Beyond the Strand? Yeah. It was like a 10th anniversary of, the company's existence, essentially. Kojima came out and did his typical Kojima stuff, announced a credit card and all this other, like, kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
But there was some
It was a pretty, like, big event, too. Like, they brought, like, there was clearly, like, the room had people in it. Like, there was press or whatever reacting live to the announcements.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, there's also some... tangible new Kojima Productions game and anime stuff as well. So probably the most tasty thing that we got is a new trailer for OD, or OD Knock, I guess, if it's been renamed, which is the game that Kojima Productions is working on with Xbox. And
oh, do you not know why it's called Knock? Huh.
I don't know.
You're not a real gamer. Not a real gamer, huh? Yeah, no, but Knock. Yeah, go ahead. The first big game.
Yeah, I was
the real meat and potatoes of this showcase for, I think, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who might not have realized that there was a full event around this trailer that also came out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's it was like a 3-minute maybe teaser. But it's all in engine, so it's not cutscenes. There are, it's all on, I'm guessing, Xbox Series X. But dang, man, looks absolutely crazy. I mean, without the UI too, like there's certain things when you watch it, you're like, oh, I can see it, like where the button prompts would be, like of like she takes out the match, and then you can see her hands kind of go to her default position, and then when you hit light, it kind of like she strikes the match. And anyway, all that to say, the thing looks freaking crazy. But the reason why it's called Knock is that so OD is actually a horror anthology. So every director that's coming onto the project will bring their own fear to it. And so Kojima's is the Knock. And so this particular episode, let's say, of OD is called Knock. And then Jordan Peele has an episode that he's going to direct, and that will have, a different name based on his own, like, a different title. And so every director that comes in will have their own OD, etc., something else.
That's really cool. I did not watch the full stream, so I didn't know anything about that. I saw the trailers, so that's pretty cool, and kind of reframes that structure of this game. If it's not going to be, because like ever since its initial reveal, it's always kind of sounded like some experimental kind of thing. Like it definitely didn't feel like it was going to be like a Death Stranding-esque game from Kojima. So it being an anthology is pretty interesting. I wonder how that's going to work.
No, and it also, I think it would make sense because especially if you want to make hyper intense horror games, they work better when they're shorter because then you don't have to like sit in it as much. You don't have to like, if it's a 3-hour game, you can say, hey, here's a really intense scenario, experience it, and then finish it, whatever. I'm not saying it's 3 hours. That's not my prediction. I don't know how long it's going to be. But if it's like a 6-9 hour game, at some point you have to be like, okay, but the player's got to get bored. So you got to like add a tweak to it. You got to maybe show the thing a little bit more. You got to, like, there's different things that always kind of negate that. And so I don't know if that's what they're doing, but like, I'm glad they didn't show it off in the trailer or whatever the big bad monster is. Though it looks cool with just the idea of just getting swallowed up by hands. I think it would work better that way.
Very kind of like PT-esque. I mean, I feel like that's...
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be the thing that everybody's going to be saying. Like, it's seemingly first person, like, very... I don't know if...
I mean, instead of like the phone ringing or the baby crying, it's like a knock instead, It's just replacing one eerie, annoying sound with another.
So, yeah, looks cool. I'm here for new wild Kojima stuff. So, like, Death Stranding is cool and all, but like whenever it came out that he was doing Death Stranding 2, it's like, okay, like I
wasn't expecting
what that's gonna be like.
Definitely was like a weird thing seeing Kojima go into Death Stranding 2, but I guess he wanted to maybe perfect that formula a little bit more. But Nick, you said you love Kojima stuff. Well, this Kojima Productions 10th anniversary stream, which I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched quite a bit of it. Was a lot. First of all, they pretty much give an update on every single thing that they're working on. So yeah, we have this, which OD Knock stars Sophie Lillis and Hunter Schafer, and I forget what one other person they announced already. And we'll find out more about that as we continue. They had Phil Spencer on stage to talk about it. And it was constantly Kojima making jokes about how like, oh no, I can't say anymore, or Phil will be upset, and it was like okay, and it was also interesting because like the stream was done live translated, so like as Kojima is speaking in Japanese, right? That's what he speaks.
Yeah.
It was like an English translator was speaking over him in the the English stream, which I thought was interesting, and I'm guessing that's also what they hear in their earpieces as well. But after that, they go into an update on the A24 film for Death Stranding, and we find out that it's actually so it's not a remake. And also it's from the director of Pig, starring Nicolas Cage, as well as the recent Quiet Place, the Day One game or movie that came out. It's that director that's working on the Death Stranding movie. And so this is it will have the themes of Death Stranding, but it will be a whole new story. So it's in the universe, but it's not the same, it's not Sam, or Norman Reedus won't be playing Sam or anything like that. Um, oh, also, here's sorry, I just opened my notes because I realized like I took notes for this thing when I was watching it. I don't know if I understood. Maybe I don't know if it was mistranslated or whatnot. I don't know if people picked up on it, but he seems to have said that OD is finished and now they're just waiting on performance capture. So like, I don't know what that means because he mentions he said there was the SAG strike, so actors couldn't be a part of it, and then said like the work on the game is finished. They're just waiting on the performance. Is what he said. Is what the translation was.
Maybe it's like, the overall design of the game and everything is like done, but they need character performances and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, we don't have a release date yet, but it'll be interesting. So, and then anyway, go back to Death Stranding. So that's the A24 movie that they gave an update on. They also showed off a feature animated film, which I don't know if I didn't know about this or I just like forgot about all the stuff that they were working on. I didn't realize there was so much in the kitchen going on. But so this anime that they showed off a fight scene from the anime. And I was watching, have you seen this one?
Yeah, the Death Stranding one?
Yeah, it's called Death Stranding Mosquito. It's the working title for the game. And so did you watch the trailer? Is that
Yes. I watched the trailer that they uploaded separately.
So the trailer is interesting. Like like visually, I'm like, okay, that's a cool art style, but I couldn't quite understand. Like I was like, it's unique, but like I don't understand what's making it unique. And then on the stream, they actually explain it. They have a behind the scenes video that they showed. And Nick, what a fucking So essentially, they had Yoji Shinkawa make essentially like brush strokes and like just like they gave him a pen and gave him like give us brush strokes, dots, circles, like just kind of just swirls and shit like that, like his style, like what he's known for. And then they scanned those in, and every single character, every art piece of like the foreground you see is those strokes being like they just draw with those, like they shape it so that like those marks that he made on the paper are how they're painting the face of the character that you're seeing. But that's not all, Nick. There is then a separate layer that they're putting underneath that frame. That's like, imagine like so like it'll look like if it's like a character like this, right? Like if I'm the character, you'll see like my character will have just gray, no detail here at all, and then my face will just be blurred. Jesus Christ! I just punched my mic. It'd just be like a void, just like a no face, no facial features, just a head. And then so that's the back layer, and then they layer it with on top of the strokes and everything to add the facial features, the character, the bulky like suit or whatever. And then the background is similar. They have a foreground like kind of pencil art almost type of sketch, and then they have artists go and make like colored illustrations of the backgrounds, and then they layer them on top of each other, so it adds this really weird effect. And when like there's action going on, you'll see like strokes coming off of like the character's punch as they're swinging. It's crazy. The work in this thing.
When I was watching the trailer, I did pick up on the Shinkawa kind of look. I was like, it looks kind of like it, but not the same. So I bet that's kind of what you're describing here, the kind of like too plain approach with it. But I would argue that he has one of the most defined artistic styles of like anybody in this kind of field. And so like I think it's incredible that they're able to translate that into motion. I think it'll be incredibly cool seeing the the finished thing all together.
Yeah, and they seem to be committed to doing it on like a theatrical release too. So that's pretty cool. And then
Kojima
they also
wouldn't have it any other way. It's like it won't be made if it's not in a theater.
Then they also had Fizzant onto the screen. It was basically just them saying, "Yeah, hey, we're still working on it. It's still, I think, early. Like, I don't know if it's in pre-production for sure." But they announced that the like a few of the cast, and the first one was like, "Oh, of course." And it's for if you follow Kojima on Twitter for like months, man, like for the last year, keeps occasionally talking about like, "Oh my God, Mad Max Furiosa is so good," and sure enough, the character that plays the badass mom in the start of the movie is in Fizzant. um, and along with a character who's an actor who's also in like the Eternals and Death Stranding 2. He's in there as well. There's another person that was mentioned that's going to be in it. But they also released like a initial concept art poster, right? Like you might have seen that. I'm very curious because like it seems that like so I know nothing about this obviously, but like it's PH and then like a line Y line isn't, I think is what it is, or something like that. So I don't know what they intend. Like I don't know if it's like a abridged version of something else. It kind of sounds like it.
So this, I only have like two things really about Fizzant. Well, three. One, I think the poster looks really cool. It's the thing we've got the least to chew on, but it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like Kojima going back to Metal Gear again, essentially, but under a different name. And I think the poster kind of highlights that.
Also, the tagline "Here comes the feeling." What does that mean? That's like it's like Tenet. I don't know if you like. It feels like a very Tenet statement.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed is that the character on the concept art has like a robotic arm, which made me immediately think of Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, that whole kind of thing. And then to speak on what you were saying about the title or whatever, the only thing that I've really thought of, and again, this might just be nothing, this might just be me postulating random information, but it makes me think of like, again, breaking up the words, like physical isn't, and like I wonder if it's something like having to do with it being an espionage game and something like that, something having to do with, maybe it's just like alluding to like the stealth nature of the game. I'm not sure.
It does. There's a conversation going on. I was like, oh my God, he kind of looks like Robert Pattinson, and maybe he does. I'm sure there's not 0% chance that Robert Pattinson is in a Hideo Kojima game. We'll figure out how. But no, I'm definitely excited. I mean, look, Death Stranding 2 made a very strong impression. Obviously, I'm not even fucking done the game, but still. So I'm very much so looking forward to what Kojima's working on. But it's always interesting because like Nick, you can correct me. You might be better informed about it. But like I don't know the last time I've seen a game developer. Obviously, Kojima's also one in one type of thing because like he's not. He's in a unique space as like a video game developer that has a lot of face value. You know, like people a lot like know Kojima, and he's also not ranting on Twitter. Not that game executives do that for some. Like, why would game executives do that? Oh, why don't you make your own goddamn game engine and then we'll talk about it? All right. Anyway, so he's in a unique space, but I also can't say like how many developers have left something that they've worked on, and then they've said, "Well, look, I feel like I'm stumbling over it because like I don't want to be wrong. I don't want someone to be like, actually, you're wrong." But like, how many developers have left what they're worked on and then so accurately been like, "Oh, I'm gonna make the thing I made, but again, but like how I wanted it." And I know like Judas is happening from like like Ken Levine, and like I'm not saying it's not happening, but like to the degree that Kojima is doing it, where it's like it's not just one project. He's not just recreating one thing. It's his whole brand at this point.
Yeah, you're right. He's pretty unique in that regard. And I think part of it also, while while it would probably never officially be said, I could also imagine a scenario with how things went down with him and Konami, where it's like, you know, whether it was they were stifling some of the vision at any sort of certain point, or like, you know, with how messy that whole kind of like divorce happened. I wouldn't be surprised if like part of it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do Metal Gear, and this time, you know, the last part of the game won't be cut. Like this will be
right.
It was intended the whole time. At the same time, I don't really even know if Kojima's really like that. Like I feel like he is being pretty earnest in interviews and stuff when he's just like, I just want to like create new things for people. So like I don't even know if that's really even it has to
in
be
his head,
at least in part, because of like the Metal Gear dude in Death Stranding 2. Like that's very intentionally like, this is Snake. Like,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even OD, right? Like you can you can definitely divorce the concept from what it was or whatever, but like it's in its DNA. There is like, oh yeah, this is the atmosphere of of PT. It's turned up to 11. Clearly, they're working with new technology. They're trying new things. I think he even said like in the Beyond the Strand event that was like, yeah, we're trying new like never before like seen things to make this game and bring it to life. And like, sure, you can't deny that, but at the same time, it's just like the DNA is there, whether he's maybe consciously thinking about it or not. He's, you know, those check boxes are still being ticked, unless maybe he's just like, man, dudes with bandanas on just fucking rock. You know, he's just like on that wavelength.
Equally possible. Like, yeah, no,
yeah,
I could totally see it.
But anyway, that's the and then as Nick had said, there's a Kojima credit card coming out. He's partnering with a bank for that. There's a Kojima, I think it's like sake. It's like a special sake that they're releasing for it as well. So lots coming. But we'll talk about that as those stories develop, because I mean we don't even have a release date for OD, and that's going to be his next upcoming project. That movie, I don't think the script is done. That anime, I think is deep in production, but still, or early production, but still like there's a lot of production to go.
Do you think, last thing before we move on from this, do you think OD, with
Sure.
being an anthology, do you think we'll get like Knock and then later we get other ones? Or do you think that it'll be like all within the same kind of span of time?
I was thinking about this as well. So obviously, my first thing was, okay, it's going to be like you get OD and then there's like episodes and you play each one, right? Like that was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I was like, okay, no, but if you look at the industry and what other people have done in terms of this, I think the most obvious example is like Supermassive Games and the Dark Pictures anthology, which was released individually, but those games are also like a little bit longer usually than we don't know how long OD will be. But then I realized, Nick, this is on Xbox. It's going to be on Game Pass. It doesn't fucking matter. They just put it on Game Pass. So yeah. I think it will be individual. They just release it as like, hey, here's OD Knock, and and then a few months later they can release or I don't know, in an indefinite amount of time later they can release Jordan Peele, and they kind of keep that franchise alive. That would be interesting. I don't know.
I'd be really curious to see if what he said is true, and that they are just waiting on performance capture. If it's as simple as like we get that in, and then Halloween we shadow drop OD Knock on Game Pass,
sure,
play it now. Like I'm curious. I wouldn't expect that, but it would certainly be really cool if that does happen.
I would love OD shadow drop, even if it's not Halloween, dude. Do it on Christmas Day. Shadow drop it.
That would be Kojima coded, I feel.
It's Christmas. Who knocks on Christmas? Probably Santa Claus. I think he knocks. I don't know. Santa Claus didn't come to my house, but so who knocks? Santa. Knock, fear, OD. There you go. Simple strings. But anyway. Oh, strands. Sorry, not strings. Strands. Sorry. Next, we have the big event that happened earlier today as of when we're recording. Nick and I were texting each other's back and forth. Nick, I can only imagine you're, like on your bed, your legs swinging behind you as we were texting each other about the PlayStation State of Play from earlier today. We kind of hinted at a few. Well, you didn't answer my question. Is that a yes?
I wasn't in bed. I was on a chair, but not too far off from that.
Okay, okay. So I think we said it on the podcast, but there were rumors going around at the start of the month that the Sony, or like maybe like late last month, that Sony was going to have an event where they're going to show off Wolverine, and that event did come to fruition. So there's a few things that happened at the State of Play. So it started off with a like 5-minute demo, or not demo, a gameplay preview of Soros, starring Rahul Kohli from Housemarque. Sorry, Rahul Kohli's not from Housemarque. The game's from Housemarque. Rahul Kohli's in the game, and it's very much so like in the Returnal arena. Very like it's like a third-person bullet hell, with really cool particle effects. It was running on the PlayStation 5. They said. It looks really awesome. Some dope boss designs. A lot of particle effects without the game lagging or anything, which is cool. The only thing I find a little weird about the game was that it felt like I texted Nick this. It felt like the running animation was at like cranked to 130%. It was just like moving. He first started moving, and I was like, are they fast forwarding this? I was like looking for like the little button or like a little icon saying like this footage is sped up, but no, that's just the default speed that this character sprints. He's hauling ass every single time. He's like Sonic.
Yeah. Not to go out there early or whatnot, but I think this is probably the best game in the State of Play, honestly.
Wow.
I've not played Returnal yet. I did install it recently, and I would like to give it a try. I like the aesthetic that Saros has more than Returnal, from what I know about it. Like, Returnal I know looks cool, and it has a lot of the similar, like you mentioned, like the bullet hell kind of stuff and the weird, like, alien kind of designs. They're very kind of similar. But, like, not to be, like, too reductive, but, like, this feels like Doom and Dune, like, mixed together. It's, like, very sandy and, like,
sure.
oppressively, like, monolithic in a lot of its like environments, whereas I get more of like a alien, like dark forest kind of vibe from Returnal, from what I know about it. And like I just kind of like the visual design of Saros a bit more so far. But
I mean, I like it because it's orange. It's orange is a great color palette. But no, they do
awesome.
have that sequence at the end, though. I think this is specifically like they're trying to build that kind of vision here, of like, because even the opening teaser was just, or the teaser trailer was just the orange, the solar eclipse and the orange sky, and then the character, and that was the whole thing. And at the end of this trailer, when they have like at the sequence, they have a trailer, and they do cut between the different like locations and stuff, and there is visual variety, so it's not like, oh man, I'm just gonna look at an orange like sepia toned thing the whole time. But yeah, there's variety there.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get me interested in like a fast arcadey shooter. So the gameplay looks like it's going to be really awesome. And I know one complaint people had with Returnal is that it has roguelike elements, but it was kind of lacking in the like permanent upgrades. And this was something that they specifically highlighted here, where it's like, yes, there are permanent upgrades. The whole tagline of the game is come back stronger. And so like I think it's probably going to lean a bit more into those more established kind of roguelike design, along with the arcadey bullet hell minute to minute stuff. So yeah, I think it looks really cool. It's coming March 20th, I think. So
March 20th, 2026.
Almost happy birthday to me. Yeah, it's it looks awesome.
Yeah, coming March 20th, like Nick was saying. And then after that, we saw the new game from the Disco Elysium devs, Zero Parades for
Dead Spies, I think.
Yes, I think something like that. I honestly didn't know that the title had a longer title. I just thought it was called Zero Parades. And then today I was like, wait, no, it's the full title. Anyway, looks cool, very much so in that Disco Elysium vein. So I've no, not my thing, but Cool. Then, ladies and gentlemen, oh, and by the way, that's coming 2026. Then we got the real, finally, all right? We got the real Microsoft exclusive coming to PlayStation. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming to PlayStation 5 in 2025. That's right, December 8th. Not much else to say about that one.
They're going to put everything else on PlayStation before Starfield and Halo. Those are going to be the last two.
Yeah. You think you'd go to Platinum Starfield if it came to... That sigh, that says it all.
I like Starfield a lot. I sing its praises. I'm in the Starfield stan camp. I've considered buying it again on PlayStation, but I don't know I'd go for the full Platinum again. That took a while on PC here, so...
After Microsoft Flight Simulator, we got what I thought, in my opinion, was the best trailer of the showcase. An absolute surprise. Is Battlefield 6. I don't know what the official trailer's called, but I'm going to guess it's like a story trailer of some sort. Man,
I think it's campaign trailer. I sent it to a buddy of mine.
Campaign trailer. It's a very Call of Duty-esque, but at the same time, it retains there's a certain kind of the Battlefield quality to it, and they do emphasize like the destruction, the constant freaking explosions, and I really dig it. I thought this was the best trailer that they put out for this game so far. We're just a few weeks away from the release at this point. It's mid-October, I believe, is when Battlefield 6 is coming out. So, yeah, looks really really solid. At least the campaign. Yeah, we'll see what the multiplayer's like.
I think it's funny that you say Call of Duty energy because it's like you get a shot of like night vision goggles on a guy, you get a shot of like thermal imaging from an airplane, and you get like a shot of some army guys in an airplane cockpit or like the hangar bay thing. Yeah. And it's like, that's all you need. It's like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Warzone.
Yeah. And there is a battle royale coming to this Battlefield, and I've seen some clips going around. I don't know how the people are getting, maybe they're like doing beta tests or whatever, but seems like some crazy shit in terms of like buildings collapsing and stuff. Like I saw someone do an artillery strike in the game on a building, like on a high rise, and the high rise just fucking collapses during the gameplay, which I think it would add a lot to the kind of battle royale feel, because like I was literally playing Warzone. I mean, I haven't touched the game in like 2 months at this point, but last time I was playing Warzone, it was around when Battlefield 6 was getting teased. And I was like, imagine, like, and I was flying in a helicopter, and I was like, imagine that building just get like, and then I crashed the fucking helicopter. And I go, imagine now the building collapses. And that's straight up. I mean, that's what's happening here. So, will be cool to see. Anyway, moving on from Battlefield 6. By the way, that's October 10th, so 2 weeks away at this point. We're right around the corner. Then we have, I think Nick's most anticipated. We have a announcement trailer for Deus Ex Remastered from Aspyr. This is a full remaster of the game, updated textures and everything like that, as well as some like new features, including like obviously the game looks different, but like they have DualSense 5, or sorry, not just DualSense, like controller upgrades and stuff like that, like haptic feedback and cool things. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that's. I don't know if there's a date for that. Let's see. That is February 5th, 2026. So that's when you can Deus Ex Remastered again.
I've wanted to play this game for a long time. I've had it on Steam for a while, but have just never gotten around to it. I played some of the newer ones, like the Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. I played those ones, but I've always heard great things about the original.
We've never talked about it. Cool ass names, both of those.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I haven't played any of the Deus Ex games, by the way. After that, we have a game that I would love to ask John Carpenter what he thinks about. It's Halloween, the game from IllFonic. Honestly, I really like IllFonic. I've liked what they've done in the past, and so, and then they've developed this niche in this asymmetrical multiplayer genre. So They showed off Halloween the game. It's coming September 8th, 2026. So that is a whole year away. but it's coming to the PlayStation 5, and I'm guessing it's all consoles, but I'm not sure. And oh wait, does that say? Oh, it's actually Ilphonic and Gun.
Hmm.
That sentence out of context, a little weird. But Gun Interactive, if you don't know, I believe it's Interactive. They're literally just called Gun, which is a crazy name for a development studio. They're the ones that made the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that we played. So
Gotcha.
there you go. They're also working on. And Ilphonic, for those of you who don't know, they've worked on the Ghostbusters asymmetrical multiplayer game, the Predator multiplayer game,
Friday
and
the
they also did
13th also was them, right? Before it got like
I'm not.
delisted.
That sounds right, but I'm not sure because I know there's someone else working at that space too. But then they also made their own like independent game that was called Arcade Mageddon, I think it was called. And again, I don't. I think either way, they've really built a name for themselves here. Oh,
Mhm.
Killer Clowns from fuck me, dude. What the fuck did I do? Killer Clowns from Outer Space is also them. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Did they work on the full game? Oh my god. Okay, no, they didn't. I don't think they did. Okay, because so I went on their website and I was looking at the games they've made. Let's just quickly run through it. All right, Predator, Killer Clown, Ghostbusters, Arcade Mageddon, and Halloween. All their active titles. I fucking nailed that. Past games and support. So I'm guessing this is a game they supported on. Friday the 13th, the game. Armored
Okay.
Warfare, Star Citizen.
Star
What the hell is this
Citizen.
game? Yeah, apparently Dead Alliance, a game I've never heard about.
I've heard
Currently
of it.
sits
I've
with
seen the cover art on it
a
before.
130 mostly negative reviews on Steam. Oh no, it's actually Dead Alliance is no longer available on the Steam store, so you can't even buy that thing. And then the last game is Evolve.
Huh.
It's this. That's what I had to double check. It seems that they again. I think that's part of their support aspect because it's a 2K game from
It was a Turtle
Turtle
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there you go. That's Ilphonic,
I
and that's Halloween. Go ahead.
not to stick on this too long, but I feel like these types of asymmetrical games, I think, have a very weird disconnect from their marketing and from the actual experience, because like I feel like, you know, there's the shot in this Halloween trailer where like Michael Myers is like down on the ground and then he does the like
And then he
creepy
gets up.
sit up thing, and it's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
that looks so crazy or whatever. But then like I just recall our time playing Texas Chainsaw where it's just like you're running around and people are just like dum 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 like constantly. And so it's just like I feel like maybe there's moments where, you know, cool stuff like that
runs it.
happens. It's definitely far from like
Yeah.
Battlefield moments where it's like every match you're getting cool stuff happening. Like
I feel like the closest to that was like when in the trailer they showed like you could transform into the shape and appear anywhere, and like the guy turns a corner and he's just like there like about to stab. That feels like excuse me the most like, oh yeah, I could see that in the gameplay. But yeah, I also feel like a part of that community, part of those kind of communities, it's like, you know, Michael Myers goes down, and you know that dude who's got 200 hours into the game will come in, do fucking circles around Michael Myers, do a little teabag, flashbang him, and then run away. Like, you know, like it's bound to happen. Anyway, that's Halloween. Next, we had Last Epoch, a game I did not know existed, but clearly it's a big deal because they not only announced that there was a development, it was in development for PS5, but they also said that on the same day they'd release the first major expansion, or Oribus. Yeah, I didn't. That's about as much as I had to say about that as well.
yeah. They mentioned the skill trees as a marketing point, and it's like, okay. Thanks.
Then we had the Seven Deadly Sins open world co-op action adventure game.
Yeah, you
That's
keep
about it.
telling me that this is like a big anime thing, and every single time I feel like I've never heard of it, even after all these times. Like,
I've only seen it because I was recently, you know, browsing through some Netflix stuff too, and I had this thing on my list on Netflix. I think it might be a Netflix original series, but I had it on my list for so long, and I'm like, oh, one of these days I'll be playing that game or I'll be watching that anime for sure. And then I think there's actually the there's multiple. There's like multiple animes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, dude. There's 5 seasons of the Seven Deadly Sins, and then there's another spin-off show called. Or dude, there's so much stuff. They also have 4 nights. It's 2 seasons, Deadly Sins, 4 nights of the apocalypse, and then they also have another one from 2018 called Revival of the Commandments. Commandments. Holy shit! Yeah, there's an empire we don't know about, Nick.
Apparently,
The Seven Deadly Sins Empire. Anyway, speaking of empire, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, September 25th, 2025.
Real quick, I thought I know now you said speaking of Empire. I thought you said speaking of vampire and then said Sonic. And I was like, what?
You don't know? Clearly someone's not up on the canon, okay? Nick does not know. You haven't read the Wattpad fan fiction that confirms that he sucks blood. I don't know why I phrased it like that, but that's exactly how I'm going to phrase it. By the time you're listening to this, Sonic Racing Crossworlds will be out. They also announced a Mega Man crossover. Then we got a trailer for...
Real quick,
go ahead.
I have a theory. I think Capcom is planning a big Mega Man revival in the next couple years because you had the Mega Man secret level episode. Mega Man's being added into this game seemingly out of nowhere, and they also just announced the Mega Man Star Force collection, which were like the DS games. So Mega Man's rumbling here, and they're running out of games to put in a collection. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to get some kind of revival here in the future.
I wouldn't be surprised. Next, we had Neo 3. And as Nick had said, while my feet were waggling, that this is February 6th, 2026. So they're trying to get ahead of the big whale, baby. Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in March, at least as of now. Okay. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered coming March 19th, 2026. They don't give a shit about GTA 6. Cool way to edit that trailer, and I feel like the end of that trailer where they had like it was like a mysterious cut of just like two ribbons flowing in the wind. I feel like if you're a fucking fan of this series, you're losing your minds, guaranteed. I didn't know what that was about. It kind of felt a little weird in the editing, but I appreciated it nonetheless. Nick and I briefly exchanged theories, and we're like, hey, when is PlayStation going to get their Hyrule Warriors? All right. Or Warriors spinoff. Nick, what did you suggest?
I said Horizon, just because it seems like that's the prime candidate for something with a melee weapon that PlayStation puts out. But then you gave the right answer, so.
So I said, how about we get some Kratos action and just have Kratos tearing through hordes of whatever, like, throw him into different mythologies, just to have him go fucking ape shit. There's so much of a gap between the old games and the new ones. Just fill in the blank. What happens?
If they were cool, they would do like the actual Hyrule Warriors thing and just have all the different versions of Kratos in there with all the different weapons and
sure, right.
Atreus and everybody play as Zeus. Why not?
Yeah, get the Spartan axes. Is there Spartan swords or the what I mean?
Blades of Chaos. I think
that's the one. Blades of Chaos. Sure. And you get the Leviathan axe. That'll be interesting. Then we had Code Vein 2, which I believe was shown off at Gamescom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Code Vein. Yeah, it's
yep. That's
January 30th. January 30th, 2026 from Bandai Namco. Cool. And then we'll move on to Final Fantasy Tactics. We had that brief little introduction. Yep. Then we had Grasshopper come in for Let It Die. What was the
Inferno?
last word? Inferno.
This one actually isn't Grasshopper. It is a different company. I forget who has like the rights to it. I know Grasshopper's not involved with this one, but they were
Oh,
somewhat
really? Their
involved
name
with the
appeared on the
first
screen.
one. They really? I didn't see it. I thought it was a different company. Because it's not like Suda working on this one.
Yeah, I did. You are correct. I don't think Suda is working on this one, but I thought when they were first when they first revealed it. Oh yeah, so when they show Uncle Death and Shin Hideyuki, Grim Reaper and game director, it says above it, Grasshopper manufacturer.
Huh.
Manufacturer. So I'm not sure. But it doesn't seem like Suda's in there. I'm sure they would have shown off Suda if they did. But
Weird game.
Weird Gung Ho Entertainment. I think maybe
that's what I saw. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Roguelike,
they also just made Trials in the Sky first chapter. Cool.
Roguelike action game. This one this time around is not a free to play game like Let It Die is.
Like the first one, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to pay for this one, but I don't know. It looks okay.
Looks much better.
Yeah, it looks better than the first one for sure.
Still looks weird, but like at least in some of the cutscenes too, like there was like a lot like cool kind of characterization and stuff, or like character art and everything. Yeah. All right. This one's coming out December 3rd, 2025, so right around the corner. Then we had a very interesting one from Desk Works. It's an action, like a 2D platformer, maybe like a Metroidvania, maybe it would be an apt comparison. But it's set in a storybook, and you're like a storybook character, and like the world is kind of breaking because the real life was kind of impacting the storybooks, and then as you're moving through different storybooks as well, but then you can go into ink and then fly through different other storybooks. All is that to say, this game looks cool. Art style is really, really nice. My only note was I think that sometimes the game seems to be getting in the way of itself because it's in certain scenes, it's the art of the character is hard to distinguish from the background.
Mm-hmm.
But that one's called Chronoscript: The Endless End. Nick, can we get a rating on that?
That's the sound rating. The number rating is like a 6. I think that the game looks cool. I like Chronoscript. By the way,
if you're new to the podcast, it's a rating of the title, not the game that's not out yet.
Yeah, Chronoscript I think sounds cool and it flows off the tongue easy. The Endless End I think is where it drops off for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like it's such a weird like combination of words for like a title. Like imagine getting a game that says the beginning's beginning or something. Like it's just like what?
Yeah. That one's coming out in 2026. No exact release date on that, but there you go. All right. Next, we had brief reintroduction to Crimson Desert. To the game's credit, I think this is probably the smoothest trailer that they've shown off. There didn't seem to be massive frame drops like they've had in the past. The game does look freaking cool, so it's piqued my interest at least a little bit. We'll see. Dragons. You get dragons in there, and you add the ability to jump off the dragon, and it's like my lizard brain's just like fucking triggered.
I'm very curious how that game will do. I know that's very basic, but it's like it gives me the vibes of one of those games where it's like it's showing the cool parts, but outside of that, it's like an inch deep, and it's like I don't know.
It seems that Pearl Abyss has a pretty decent track record. Like their games seem to have some longevity. So I have to imagine that they'll do decent. I don't know, because like I haven't played, by the way, Black Desert, but I've heard like Black Desert has like grown a lot and like they've supported it for a long time. I mean, they've just recently, or no, hold on, I'm just looking at it right now. As of February 28th, 2024, Black Desert celebrates 55 million player milestone on 8-year PC anniversary, which is crazy. So even if it's not great on launch, which obviously I hope it is, it'll at least have like a future to kind of look forward to. Then, oh baby, how can I forget? We had the hardware announcement of the year. That's right. I know the Switch 2 came out, but we got Pulse speakers, baby. I forget what they're actually called, but Pulse speakers seems to be pretty. Oh, Pulse Elevate wireless speakers. They're the look. They got some advanced tech in there. It's has Bluetooth and PlayStation Link connectivity, so you can use a dongle or just directly connect it with PlayStation Portal to the elite gamers who have PlayStation Portals sitting on the shelf collecting dust. Now you can have speakers connected to it. It looks like it sounds really cool, but the cool part for me, the gimmick, is it can tilt slightly so that it's facing up, like it's projecting outwards, not just like off of the table in a way, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
interesting. We don't know the price of this thing. 100%, I'm going to say like $199. I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. 100 per. Like, I liked my
I really
Pulse
want them.
3D headphones that I got for PlayStation 5, but like the inside foam deteriorated, and so like I don't use them anymore. And so at least you won't have that problem with speakers. But
yeah, I do want them. I think they look cool. Oh, like, and I think they would sound good if the because again, I've heard the Pulse headphones, like the sound system is good, which again makes sense because it's Sony. Like that's they're in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's good and if it's not ridiculously priced, I would want some, but we'll see. Anyway, the last thing that they showed off. Actually, no, they did also show off the Gran Turismo update was coming out. They also showed off a mind-boggling new controller, just revolutionary limited edition controller for God of War 20th anniversary. Go look it up if you haven't seen it.
White with a red line and 2 red buttons.
Yep. The detailing is red, but that's about it.
I really think that its placement in this state of play was very weird, because we've obviously had
it feels like they were setting up a bigger reveal that just didn't happen.
We've had rumors going around for a while now. We've probably not really touched on it much on the podcast, but there's been rumors going around that there's like this 2D God of War style game that's going to be coming out, kind of like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is kind of the leading like thinking on it. And so I thought as soon as we saw that, I was like, oh, they're going to show that now. Nope. Just the controller.
We went right from that into the big show closer, the game that we all knew was going to happen, and it was Marvel's Wolverine. And I'm very by the way, I realized how like entirely PlayStation centric this episode is now that I've gotten context, because we're just going to go right from this into the main topic of the show because it's also PlayStation related. But Nick, let's get your thoughts. What do you think of the first real game, like the first real trailer for Wolverine? Because the last one we got was a few years ago, and it was just him at a bar getting his claws out. I think was all it was.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I'm not smitten with it though. A couple years ago, I believe while we've been doing the podcast, I played X-Men Origins Wolverine on the Xbox 360, which it was developed by Rare Raven software, and was a really cool action game for the time. I think somewhat influential on Insomniac's direction with this game. But it also feels like Wolverine version of Spider-Man, which I guess one would expect with how Insomniac's been going with stuff. Their last several projects have all been Spider-Man games, right? And so like,
yep.
I kind of see it in like some of the animation, specifically the one shot that they have where it's in like a I think it's in Japan, and he's in like an alleyway, and he like goes to like stab an enemy, and then it like immediately flips around and gets the guy in the back. I'm like, that's exactly
like
out
super
of Spider-Man.
fast.
Yeah. And so like it has the gore of like X-Men Origins and like how people would want it to be. Like if it's a Wolverine game, you kind of have to have like gore in it. So it has that, but then the characters also kind of look like that Spider-Man kind of look where it's not like hyper realistic. It's definitely stylized. You mentioned in our text that it's like kind of Fortnite-y, And like I kind of see that too, where it's like the
You
proportions
can't
aren't
expose me on my text like that, Nick. Now I'm gonna get fucking roasted by the PlayStation crew.
Well,
God
I
damn
mean,
it.
like I kind of agree. Like I don't think it's quite like Fortnite-y, but like it's not what I imagined it was going to be watching that original teaser in the bar. I thought like that original teaser meant that it was going to be maybe a bit more grounded, a bit more grittier, and like I already mentioned it, but it just kind of feels like Spider-Man, but with Wolverine this time and blood, and not a dramatic change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I feel like, when you think about X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged, a game that, seemed like primed for a remaster, though, one will likely never come. And, there's technical issues in that game, but the only real thing holding the game, that's the only real thing holding the game back. But there's like such a strong base there that with more time and probably like a bigger budget, you could probably build out a franchise out of that, as
Hmm.
strong as Marvel Spider-Man. And I hope you agree with that, Nick, because that's directly quoting your review for X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged. Do
Yeah.
you know when that was written, Nick?
2022.
July 14th, 2021.
Ooh, a little bit older than I thought.
Way, way, way back when. But no, I do find it interesting. You do say that more time and budget, the game could expand into a game franchise that could be as strong as Marvel Spider-Man. I don't know if at this time it was Marvel Spider-Man was Marvel's Wolverine already announced? 2021.
I don't know. I don't think so. Wolverine was
Yeah.
announced whenever Spider-Man 2 was announced, so that would have been.
Oh, I just looked it up. Marvel's Wolverine. The announcement teaser trailer was September 9th, 2021. So you
Oh,
beat it
wow.
by just a few months. And so yeah, I do find it interesting. I do agree. I feel like that's kind of what they're going for, but it's not like even now, right? You look at back at that game, and it has this like obviously the realistic, but like with older kind of generation consoles, but like like more gritty look. And for me, the biggest clash is the kind of polished. You could say it's like for me. I know it may sound a little reductive saying that it's like Fortnite, but it's that style. It's like a little bit smoother. It's what maybe it works super well with Spider-Man, who is a little bit like family friendly. He doesn't kill people, but like then you add the gore, and there's a certain part of it that just feels like I'm having a weird disconnect. Like I don't know why. So like it was still cool. Like I enjoyed seeing the trailer. It clearly like if Marvel Spider-Man, which obviously those games are great, they explored the crap out of obviously Spider-Man, the dynamic between Spider-Man and Miles Morales, and then also as their playground, they've fully explored New York, right? Like they've used the shit out of that city, and it seems here they're going a little bit more like, okay, now we have a more globe-trotting adventure. He's going around everywhere. And you also have a much darker protagonist, and they kind of even mentioned that they're going for like this unreliable narrator type of thing, which I thought was interesting. So there's a lot, like it definitely feels like an action movie, like a globe-trotting action movie, which is cool. But something about that visual style is odd to me. But still, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be great because I trust Insomniac at the very least.
I wonder if it'll be more like linear missions, like kind of like an Uncharted or like a Last of Us, or if it'll be more like an Indiana Jones, where it's like you go to each of these areas and it's like a mini contained open world. Like I'm curious what kind of the mission structure is going to be like that facilitates that.
You think Wolverine's going to stealth? Or he's just like the only option is just rip and tear?
I want to say no because it's not in his MO to do that, but I could totally see you like, walking down an alley and like lunging at like an enemy that's not
right
looking at you or something. I
how
could
do
see
you
it.
but like the question is, how do you quietly rip a human being apart with your claws.
Just gloss over
We'll
it.
find.
It'll just be somebody screaming and like bones ripping, but like the other person will just be like, "Oh."
Well, yeah, it's something I've mentioned in my Wolfenstein review is like the game is just gamified enough where like you'll actively like the kills in that some of the kills in that it's like you're stabbing and clearly like 2 feet away there's another person but he has no idea. He's like, yeah, well, yeah, Bob, the weather's great. So anyway, looks cool. The voice acting. What'd you think of the voice actor? It's Liam. It's the guy from Spartacus, and I can't think of the last name, but it's Liam
Um,
McIntyre.
Fine. I you're never gonna be Hugh Jackman, unfortunately, and I feel like he's Wolverine for so many people, but it didn't really come off as being weird or anything for me. It's just like, oh yeah, it's Wolverine.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to kind of just seeing him in action. I think the only way to sell that is just show me, unless you're going to give me like a full on, hey, here's a 30-minute sequence. You get a performance, gameplay, cutscenes, like all in one, like which they've done for like Ghost of Yotei and stuff. So it's not unlikely that they won't do that. But this game's coming out fall 2026, so a whole year away. We'll maybe see it around this time next year, something like that. But,
Yeah. My one takeaway from Wolverine that I'll leave it with is that I think it looks good. It looks high budget, high production value. At the same time, I couldn't shake the feeling while watching it where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Insomniac to do something else now. Like, I think obviously they found a lane that they're very successful in with the Marvel tie-in stuff, but like I feel like it's just like I'm starting to get fatigued on it. Maybe that's me being like, out of like MCU and superhero stuff right now, but it's like there's just only so much that I can get excited for with it, and it's like I'm kind of just more excited that it's an Insomniac game and that it's going to play well, more so than anything that's visually on the screen, if that makes sense.
yeah, sure. I mean, there's a lot of trust that they've built up at this point for just putting out good quality games, and I'm hoping that it pays off again. I mean, I've really never been let down by Insomniac, so it would be a first. And even if this game wasn't good, I don't know how much it would really erode my trust in this company at this point, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, there is some sort of a B team over there too. I mean, they also have Ratchet and Clank that they've put out in between the Spider-Man games. So
Speaking
who knows what they're
of,
working on?
This is kind of a side tangent, but also remaining in the PlayStation sphere. MinMax, they did a interview with the Ghost of Yotei, one of the leads for that.
I saw.
And Ben Hansen asked what % of the team at Sucker Punch wants to make a Sly Cooper game, and he said 10%, and my heart sank through my freaking body and came out my ass. Like I was like, oh my god, I just want them to make another Sly Cooper, and like that's so disheartening.
He's got a point. He's got a point. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that team is probably I mean, these might not feel the same way, obviously, and it's interesting point of view, but I think that maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't say definitively says, we're not going to get one anytime soon, but I think it's a fair bet that.
I think if we do, it's a different team. Like Sucker Punch just isn't going to do it.
Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 year away, roughly, from the release of Marvel's Wolverine. I almost said Spider-Man. 1 year away from Marvel's Wolverine, and you know what? We're going to talk about it when it comes out next year. So the best way to stay up to date on that and tune in to every podcast we release weekly, except for when we take vacations or perhaps get canceled by the FCC. I'm not sure. Anything's in the air, really. You should subscribe so you won't miss out on any of our just amazing content. Just how we do things here is simply no one else has done it quite like us. So for all that and more, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and like I said at the start, when do you think Nick will finish Fallout New Vegas. Throw that stuff into the ocean. We got to litter as much as possible just to stop. Get the oceans to rise a little bit faster. So with that said, next year when Wolverine comes out, there's a good chance that if you get a platinum trophy for Wolverine, you, the real gamer, will get exclusive merch opportunities, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Merchandise. That's why we play games. It's why you engage with any media. I don't watch Naruto because I like the fucking dude. He's annoying. But his merch is cool as shit, and that's why I watch. Similarly, PlayStation has recently announced a rewards program, which I don't. Does it have a name further than just a rewards program?
The current one, because there is a PlayStation blog post that we'll get into, because it's around Ghost of Tsushima. The current name that I see for it is just Ghost Rewards, which I'm guessing
Okay.
it's probably going to be like insert game rewards, like
Rewards.
Horizon
Yeah,
rewards, or Uncharted rewards, something like that.
And so, I mean, yeah, let's just get into this thing, man, because over on PlayStation blog, Katie Lennox, director of, it's called Franchise Rewards. That's what it is.
Franchise rewards.
Director of Franchise Rewards at PlayStation has put out a blog post talking about the franchise reward launches with commemorative merchandise celebrating your in-game achievements. Nick, let's go through it.
Yeah. So this blog article starts off, quote, "If you've ever felt like your Ghost of Tsushima journey deserved to be remembered beyond the screen, we've got something special to share. Starting today, we're introducing a new merchandise program that celebrates your in-game achievements with special collectibles, beginning with Ghost Rewards. Players who have earned the Mono no Aware Gold or Living Legend Platinum trophies in Ghost of Tsushima by December 31st, 2025 can unlock access to a selection of limited edition merchandise. These items have been designed to honor the spirit of Jin Sakai's journey and the dedication of the fans who walked the same path. 2 commemorative Ghost of Tsushima rewards for pre-order purchase are available starting today for those who have earned those trophies, with designs inspired by the island of Tsushima and Jin's legendary armor. Each piece was created with close input from Sucker Punch Productions to make sure they authentically capture the game's atmosphere and artistry. After earning the required trophies in-game, you can head straight to the Ghost Rewards store at ghostrewards.playstation.com, or they have the European link there, to secure your collectibles after signing into PlayStation. Ghost Rewards are available to ship to players in the United States, Canada, Australia, Europe, EU, Monaco, Norway, and Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Additional availability may be introduced at a later date. For more information, please see the Ghost Rewards shipping page here. There's also t-shirts that are available, but the point is, if you get these trophies in-game by a specific date, you are then eligible to pre-order these specific merch items. So you can commemorate your time by giving PlayStation more money to get a unique little trinket, like a t-shirt or a pin. Weird, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about this, but I was kind of thinking it over earlier, and it's like, I feel like PlayStation, this has to be like at least 5 at this point, where they introduce some kind of a rewards program. It's like okay at the start, and then they just start taking away functionality, and then they're like, we're done with this rewards program, here's a new rewards program. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's cyclical at this point.
Yeah, by the time I really started getting into the, I think it was called Star Rewards or something, right?
Yeah, PlayStation Stars.
Yeah, I was one of those. I think I earned like $5 on it, and then they're like, yeah, just when I was like, huh, maybe I can make something out of this, and then it like, because like you can go in and like select like different quests that you can use, and then get it. I haven't redeemed my $5 yet, Chet. I got to do that. They got I have 2,000 points, and it's 1,200 for $5. And wow. Oh my God! But if I have 400 more points, Nick, I can get a $10. Oh my gosh! Can you even get more?
Probably not.
Oh no,
That functionality is probably
PlayStation Stars
gone.
has ended. However, you can still use your points and display case. Oh, I'm so glad I can display these things I don't have.
That is a worthwhile thing to bring up. Where like I feel with PlayStation Stars, like it was that weird like they're NFTs but not NFTs kind of thing, where it's like you have your digital display case for like these different things. At least I guess with this new system with franchise rewards, like it's physical items. But it's still like weird because it's like you still have to pay for it, and because it's through the PlayStation Store, people have already like shared online the like it's like at minimum like $12 shipping to the United States or something like that for these things. So it's like who knows if like the t-shirt's like $30, tack on the extra $10, you're paying an extra $40 for this thing that like I don't know, it's very it's goofy. I don't even think like I don't think it's that like negative. Sure, it's a bit like kind of scummy, just being like, you want to commemorate your time with this game that you already spent money and and gave us your precious 60 hours to 100% or whatever. Then here's an extra T-shirt. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I thought the Stars program was perfectly functional. I don't know why it's why you have to do the get rid of it to do something else. But here's the thing, right? There's an additional wrinkle to this. I don't know if you've seen it, but essentially, this seems very inspired by something that Bungie has done. So if you go to Bungie's store, there's something called in this Bungie store has Bungie rewards, and one of them is a Glorious Seal collectible medallion pin. And in order to get that pin in Destiny, I believe 2, because that's the only one that's active, you have to earn the Glorious title. So if you earn the title of Glorious, you can unlock the feature to then purchase this medallion for $25. And I've obviously it didn't take much to go snooping. I've gone on eBay after that's as all good sleuths do, and you can buy that for $30. And it seems if you look it up, it looks very, very similar in presentation and design to the one that PlayStation's putting out. I mean, the medallion itself is different, like, because it's very much like it seems to be for Ghost of Tsushima versus obviously Bungie. But like the way the box looks and the general presentation seems to be quite similar. Even the website and the way that the website's integrated with like, actually no, hold on. Even because I'm looking at it next to each other. So it's they're both $25. Let's establish that. Dude, this is 100%. This is they stole, not stole. They're borrowing the code for this fucking website too. The thing says, the box says sign in to progress, sure, and then under that it says complete to claim. Both sites have that, and then they under it they say the name of it, which is for Destiny's Glorious, for this one Living Legend, and then below that, what you need to do to get it. So earn the Glorious title on this one, obtain all trophies. Below that, there's two little sections. One says earn by, and the other says purchase by. Over here, earn by, purchase by. So, it's very much so the same thing. So they're clearly, inspired at the very least by what Bungie was doing, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. I think this is ridiculous because it's definitely like this is going to be something that like a year and a half from now, like it'll be defunct. At least that's a track record. I'd love to be proved wrong.
Yeah,
but it's going to be defunct, and you're not. You'll still have a cool platinum trophy pin for sure, but
I feel like
it's not like a collection.
The idea of like rewarding people who go the extra mile to get like a platinum trophy or something like that. I do think that that's cool. I think it being like twisted into this like give us extra money kind of thing is where like it kind of falls apart. It's like, so you're being rewarded for my time, not the other way around. Like, I mean, I guess I get a pin or whatever, but again, it's like maybe you send me the pin.
Let's make a deal. I give you my time
and money,
and I also give you my money, and you give me a shirt. A shirt, maybe?
But I give you more money, too.
Yeah, so that I can get
weird.
the thing that I just gave you money for. Yeah. Look, I hate to be a cynic, but it does feel weird. But I do think the optimist side of me, if I'm thinking about like, the Optimus Prime side, I have to say, like, maybe like the ideal version of this exists somewhere, not in current execution, but could exist in terms of, I do think a physical reward for 100% of a game is cool. Like, either it doesn't have to be physical. I think the physical thing makes it cool, like cooler. And if they stick with this, I think it would be cool to have like, every first party, if they're willing to guarantee every first party PlayStation game, if you get a platinum trophy, you can get one of these. $25 is a lot to still, maybe like, I don't know, something less would have been ideal. But like,
yeah.
Or maybe if you buy, man, am I giving them ideas? I don't care. If you buy the base edition of the game, sure, you have to pay $15, $20. But if you get the deluxe edition, it's like, oh, you got the platinum trophy and you got the deluxe edition, you get the pin for free, whatever. Maybe that's too nice to the consumer to
right
be viable for a business, but
that would be cool. Like I had the idea where it's like it could be cool if it would be like something that just isn't really like tchotchke stuff that people buy on the merch stores anyway. It's like I'm I'm not exempt from that. Like I've definitely bought stuff from like Bethesda store and stuff, but it's like if it's something a bit more like tangible or a bit more interesting than just like t-shirts and pins. Like if it was like, I don't know, mate, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna immediately refute it because I know how people are. It'd be cool if it was like exclusive behind the scenes materials, maybe like an art book or like a making of video or something that you get like on a flash drive or a DVD or something like that. At the same time, immediately somebody would get that and immediately upload it to YouTube or something like that.
Yeah.
So like they can't really do something like that.
I mean, like, even this though, like you can get the Bungie one for $25, or you can go on eBay and get it for $30 without having to complete the claim. So
sure, yeah, yeah. I don't think this is it, PlayStation. But for sake of the conversation. You mentioned first-party PlayStation games. I assume that is the safe and probably the only route forward for stuff like this. So Last of Us, Horizon, Uncharted, God of War, I'm sure those are going to get them, especially with the 20th anniversary. If you have a Ragnarok Platinum Trophy, like I'm sure that they'll have something up there. It would be cool if it was retroactive, though. I do think it would be an interesting way if they were like, say, like, I
mean, if you already have the Ghost of Tsushima trophy, you can get it, right?
Yeah. I mean, Sony getting out of their ass and looking further back than just the PlayStation 4 generation. So like, if you have like the platinum trophy for Resistance, like we're doing a Resistance anniversary or something like that. Like, I think it'd be cool if they included some stuff like that into this stuff. But again, I feel like for whatever, I almost said Nintendo. I feel like PlayStation, for whatever reason,
Nintendo.
They have the blinders on for anything older than PS4 generation, unless it's going into the PlayStation Plus catalog. Like that does raise something interesting though, because some of those PlayStation classics do get trophy support. So I wonder if that would be something that they would work in at some point as well.
Doesn't Nintendo have some sort of fan program, or like they give something, right? No, that doesn't sound like Nintendo.
there's My Nintendo rewards. You used to get coins for that, but I think they are phasing that out going forward.
Oh well, no, I got 290 platinum points, baby. I don't know what I do with that, but
You can usually get like some merch items. Like there's some cool stuff that's on there occasionally. I got these physical Super Smash Brothers like invitation envelopes with stamps and stuff. It's like,
oh, nice.
sometimes they do some cool stuff on there. They used to do like discounts that you could get also. I think maybe that's phased out if they're keeping
yeah, I don't
that,
think that's
so.
huh. Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't think it's quite the same though. Yeah, because it's not like for completing in-game stuff or anything. So
Mhm.
quite different, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. Look, ideal world, I think that it would be cool. The collector in me is like, oh man, like imagine you have a pin or a set for like a medallion for every trophy you have for first party titles. I think that would have been an interesting thing to display. Perhaps a point of pride I can hand on to my grandchildren one day and be like, look, I gave them my time and my money. But I don't know what I would find inherently enticing about this. This is, I mean, obviously, I think if I was to dig deeper, like I was, if I was to analyze this business move, like I was analyzing Wolfenstein: The New Order, I'd be like, man, consumerism is fucked. How much have we fallen so that like the exclusive gold trophy T-shirt is like, whoa. I got to get it by December 31st in order to purchase it by January 31st, 2026. I have to.
Yeah, it's wild. I did include in here, Sri, sort of, we can think broadly about this. We don't have to lock it just to PlayStation, but with the concept of, going through the what's the word I'm looking for? The meat grinder to get certain hard achievements. Is there any achievements that you've gotten either on Xbox or PC or anything that you would like immortalized in a form like this? Like, is there anything that springs to mind for you? I know back in the day, I specifically went and got the full achievement list for Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on the 360, which did include the infamous Mile High Club mission. And I said after I got that achievement that I was never doing that again, and I never have gone back to do that again.
So I'm a frequenter. Well, I used to be. I think I find myself moving away from trophy hunting nowadays. Not like I'm not like not doing it, but it's mostly like I have to, because I used to be like every game that I played, I'm like, okay, I got to just get trophies so that my percentage is high. And if you go back in my PlayStation account, back to like the first games that I've played, I certainly was trying. Like you could see, like I was like trying to get as much completion as I could. Now, it's like now I'm like, okay, if I like the game, I'll commit to getting trophies. I don't have to like get every trophy, or I don't have to get a bunch of trophies just for the sake of it. That being said, I'll still look at I still look at Spray Paint Simulator where I have one trophy and I'm like, God damn it, I shouldn't have played it in the first place. But anyway, I digress. I frequent PSN profiles just to check in, and it's an incredible website. I still recommend it even if I'm not actively trophy hunting, because you can track everything very easily. You can easily see what kind of trophies you have yet to unlock, as well as kind of what what you already have. So, and I'm not even gonna look at achievements. I don't touch that. Like I don't care about achievements at all. I mean, anything I cared about was on PlayStation. Not that I don't play Xbox games. Okay, just please stop typing. If you're one of those guys. So, you bring up a good point. What would I want immortalized? Dude, what the fuck? I don't know. So I went to my ultra rare trophies. Okay, I have 12 ultra rare trophies. Nick, 11 of these trophies are for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. They are almost all exclusively zombies.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yep. All zombies. Okay. And then one for Ember, the firefighting game. So pretty badass, not gonna lie. I have 81 very rare trophies. God, what the hell? Okay. The first few were also Call of Duty Black Ops 4. But then we have other games in there. Honestly,
and you don't like Black Ops 4, right? Like each time we've talked about it, it's just like I don't
Nick,
like that game.
This is what I'm talking about. I played the shit out of that game just to get the percentage of the trophies up. God damn, I did a good job apparently, and I suffered for no one else did. That's why I got the rare trophies, because it's based off of how many people have it versus don't have it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, all that to say, Mark of the Advocate is the one for the platinum trophy for Titanfall 2. I remember that being a bitch.
That would be a good one.
I had so much fun with that game, and that last trophy get on the scoreboard, absolute pain in the ass.
I would definitely pick that one if I had that. Like that's one of those ones where I've looked at the requirements and I'm like, nah, I don't have the dexterity or the patience for it.
Nick, we've talked about it on the podcast. For Creed Rise to Glory, I have a trophy that 5.5% of people have, which is World Champion. Defeat all fighters on champion difficulty. That's me. All right? I want you to remember that. Maybe I'll take a medal for that, for sure. Honestly, I don't know, man. There's a lot of like random ones I could throw in there. I don't know. I have Just Dance 2021, 6.22%. Get 3 stars on 40 Just Dance songs. Oh, that's me, Nick. 3 stars on 40 Just Dance songs. You don't get that for nothing.
No, that's a lot of actual sweat that you got to put into that.
Yeah, probably some tears too.
There's very few games, I think like less than 30 maybe, that I've done like fully.
I'll pull up your shit too. Don't worry. Go ahead.
That I've gotten like fully 100%. I would feel a bit dirty if I said BioShock Infinite, because I do have like the full 100% in that game, but the last achievement that would have been the hardest, I got via a bug. So I didn't actually have to do that. So I would feel a bit dirty if I selected that one, but I did have to do a good bit of other stuff in that game, play it through on the hardest difficulty, stuff like that. Call of Duty 4, I think, is the one that springs to mind. That or something Fallout related, seeing as I have done 3 in New Vegas on all platforms. Like something like that I think would be cool as like a commemorative thing. I've also done other Fallout games to full platinum, but like only on PlayStation, essentially. So they're not quite as to the same level. But Mile High Club, I think, would be nice to have a pin on.
Here's the thing. So I just pulled up your account too, but then I realized I was going back to mine. And so if you go onto PSN profiles and you just log in for yourself, it gives you a trophy cabinet is what it's called, which is a pretty cool feature where you can like select the trophies that you've unlocked and highlight them, like 3 of them to highlight at the top of your profile for other trophy hunters. So I do have 3 trophies there. So I guess they're good ones to mention. It's Mark of the Advocate for Titanfall 2. Just Another Day at the Office, Modern Warfare. And Smarter Than a Fifth Grader from Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Those are definitely ones that I'd want to immortalize for sure.
It
also has like trophy milestones. Dude, I gotta check this for you. Do you ever go on PSN profiles?
Never.
All right, cool, great. We got the episode, baby. Here we go. So first of all, I don't know if we've talked about this. I feel like I'm getting deja vu, but I could have mentioned it on stream, but I'll go through it quickly. So it has milestones for like trophies that you've hit and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So my first trophy, Nick, for when I made this account. I made this account after college, and my first trophy on this account was "Welcome to the Club" from Black Ops 4, which I thought was an appropriate title for the first trophy. Welcome to the club. First platinum was called Mark of the Advocate. So Titanfall 2 was my first platinum. 500th trophy was Don't Make Me Wait from Tales from the Borderlands.
Nice.
10th platinum, My Name is Mayo. We don't talk about that one. Let's move on. 1000th trophy, Nick, was called Greedy from Green Hell, which I thought was very apt as well. 20th platinum was Hillbilly Doomsday Platinum. Just beautiful. Just, what a name. 1500th trophy was Exam Time from Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I hate that this game has appeared twice on my profile. My fastest platinum was Be Greater from Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. I just booted my old save file.
Oh yeah, I remember you could do that with a couple of games. You could still do
but
that.
Then
with
the most, but perhaps Nick, the most apt, because there's some apt fucking trophies in there. The most apt, my 2500th trophy is called Collector for A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, which I thought was pretty apt. All right, now,
nice.
Nick, let's go to you. All right, so you have 12 ultra rare trophies.
Okay.
All right. Let's pull them up. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Yep, okay. So the top four. Okay, this is fucking cheating. Okay. So the top 2 trophies you've earned twice, so they're in there 4 times. So you have your top 2 are Pro Skater Returns and 100 for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
I am,
and then you have the
that.
PS5 version.
I would put a reward pin for that one. That was a grind to get that. So yes.
And then you have the PlayStation 5 version, which are also ultra rare. So that's how you've gotten your first 4 right here. Same thing for down here. Got there. Complete all hard get theirs.
That's Tony Hawk also.
You have that twice. Complete all Gap collections. Got that twice. Okay. All right. So let's maybe tone it down a little bit, Nick. You don't have as many ultra rares as you thought, but you also have what game is this? It's Hell Let Loose.
Oh. My buddy played that on my PlayStation. I've almost never played that game.
Dude, 3.3% of people have this trophy. Get 100 kills with artillery in total.
Okay.
Wow.
Right on.
Well, there you go.
That's the only way to get kills in that game, because you run for 10 minutes and then get sniped in a field. In that game.
Yeah. So literally of your 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. And then you have Hell Let Loose. 1 is Beat Ryuichi from No More Heroes 3.
Weird.
And then you have two from, I don't know what this game is. Enter the Gungeon.
I'm proud of that
for
one too.
Acquire all other trophies of the platinum and complete Fristle's challenges. So
Enter
those
the
are
Gungeon's
ultra
good. So I'd be interested in that too. Yeah. That's
now,
funny that Tony Hawk is so prevalent on there.
So now we'll go through your milestones, Nick, because I have to feel like, milestones certainly it would be interesting to get commemorated. So your first trophy, Nick, do you know? 11 years ago.
Yeah, if it takes it from PlayStation, it was probably or PS4. It would probably either be from Blacklight Retribution or it'll be Far Cry 4, I think.
I think it goes back as far as PlayStation 3. But no. I think your account is only on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I do have PS3 trophies, but I think that was after I set up the PS4 one.
You are wrong. You barely know yourself. Your first trophy was One Odd Sock from Little Big Planet 3.
Oh, I did have that game. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Your first platinum was maybe a year later because it was 10 years ago. Do you know what that was?
Is that Tales from the Borderlands?
Yep, we had fun, didn't we? By the way, great name for the trophy. Tales from the Borderlands. Your 500th trophy. I mean, this would be hard for you to get, but you can guess maybe.
What year? If it says.
It was 9 years ago, so a year after, a year after Tales from the Borderlands.
I have no idea what this would be. Maybe Fallout 4.
Interesting. No, it is Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is your 500th trophy. It's called Slight Silver. Your 1000th trophy was Windy Passage from Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
That's a PS3 trophy.
So one thing I didn't tell you when I was reading through mine, right? There have so along with all the milestones that I've said, they also have one that's your 1337th trophy. For those of you who don't know or you're not up on your internet lingo, it's 1337 is elite. It's your elite trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, if you were wondering, was Hope You Thaw Everything from Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure. Yeah, that's right. Nick, yours is a pretty fucking special one, man. Can I just say? Your elite trophy is your platinum trophy for Fallout New Vegas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Your 1,500th trophy was Big Spender for Sly 2. Your 10th platinum, Nick. Do you want to guess what your fucking 10th platinum was?
Fallout Shelter?
He's about to get exposed. He thought his fucking 10th platinum was Fallout Shelter. No. It was Fallout 76. Cannot believe it. The 10th platinum. Your 2000 trophy was Seizing the Opportunity from Hitman. Your 2500th trophy was Two Birds with One Stone from Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. Nick,
that's pretty recent.
Can you guess guess your fastest platinum? Also, you said that's recent. That's 5 years ago, but good.
Modern Warfare 2 was 5 years ago?
Yep.
What the fuck? My fastest platinum.
We just talked about it.
It's either like Tony Hawk, the PS5 version, because it auto pops, or Sly Cooper 1. But yeah, okay.
It's Tony Hawk's. Yeah. 3000th trophy. I know this is a special one. It's Gum Show from Biomutant. Oh, 3500th trophy. Escape Nightmare from Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. 4000th trophy. Deathman from No More Heroes 3.
God, I didn't even know I had 4,000 trophies.
You actually have 4,500 because your 4,500th trophy was Looking for a Release from Alan Wake 2. And Nick, do you want to know what your 20th platinum was? Or no, do you know what your 20th platinum was?
Is it BioShock Infinite? Has to be
Astrobot.
Oh, Astrobot. That makes sense.
It was both your latest platinum and your fastest. Or sorry, 20th. Not 20th platinum.
Nice.
There you go. Dude, you gotta... I mean, you're higher level than me, so I'm gonna ignore that. What the fuck? That's crazy. God damn, you have 4,922 trophies. You're by the end of this year, you'll have 5,000. Yeah. For comparison, I am at 2,800. Nice. And it'll be an interesting journey ahead. As I just said, that I've somehow lost interest in trophy hunting.
This is gonna light a fire under you, though. You're gonna get back into it. Be like,
that's not what
I'm gonna get him.
That's not what we want, though, right? It's interesting. It actually has a world rank and a country. Oh my God, I forgot about all the in-depthness of this website. So it has a world rank and a country rank for both profiles. Um, Mine is I'm a in world rank I'm 356,115th. For country rank, I'm 104,110.
Nice.
Nick, do you want to guess your world and country rank?
If it's based
Again,
on
I'm
amount of
3,500.
achievements
I think it's your.
or like
I
the
don't think it's just
score,
amount, but I guess yeah, because it tracks your. I don't know if it says what the. It just says trophy leaderboard.
if you're 350,000 for global, then I'm gonna guess like 332,000 for global.
Dang, you think you're only 20,000 better than me?
Maybe I don't know how where the scaling is here.
So I will say that compared to last week, Nick, you are down 3,838 ranks.
Yeah, I've not been
Uh,
playing on PlayStation.
so that puts you at a measly 224,818
Whoa.
place. Now for country rank, Nick. All right,
If we
still
if
fucking
we
slacking.
if we can apply a similar rule there, I'm gonna guess like 53,000 in country.
So you're down 1,115 since last week, which puts you at 62,514th in the country.
That's kind of
Oof.
crazy to me.
It is,
62,000.
dude. That's what I'm saying, dude. PSN profiles. That's why I used to dig around in this thing. It's a and by the way, you can go into this turned into a fucking ad for fucking this website for some reason. But like obviously it has like your profile, it has your trophy log, but then they have stats. So you can go in and so like I can go to my account, I can go to Nick's account, and I can see like the amount of games I've played, the amount of trophies I have with a fucking pie chart of the amount that were platinum, gold, silver, bronze, how many points I've earned, and monthly activities. So I can see, oh my God, that's so funny. I can see when I've peaked, like the time when I got the most trophies, and both the big humps that I see are when we did our trophy hunts back in the day, because it was like, oh, in July of 2022, I got 33 trophies. In like October, I got 10 trophies, but man, in August, 371. So it gives you an interesting. There's a lot you can dig into there. God damn, yours is much more of a. Yeah, yours is much more up and down. Like it's frequently going up and down.
My
But I will say your peak, your most trophies in 1 month was 142.
my memories of that trophy race that we did are a little tainted because that's when I played Pro Skater 5 for the first time. One of the worst games I've ever
Dang,
played.
yeah. Here's a crazy dude. Again, this episode's completely derailed, but this is the last thing. This is the last divergent thing that we'll talk about here. All right. It also shows your trophies by time and day. So what day you earned the most trophies and what time. So mine, I earned the most trophies on Sunday. I've earned 547 trophies on Sunday. And the time that I unlock them, the most time, I've earned 296 trophies at 9 p.m.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait,
Nick.
would that fall into stream time? Do you think that's a
Yeah, I
part of
think it
it?
is because
Yeah.
it actually goes into like 10 p.m. 200, 11 p.m. 180, a 180 179 for 12 a.m. So yeah, definitely stream time. You, Nick, do you know what your most day is? The day you've earned the most?
If
When
I
do you
were
feel like you've played?
going to make an educated guess, I might say Tuesday.
What's so interesting about yours compared to mine is that yours are all like much closer together, but your number one day is Saturday. Sorry, Monday. Monday,
Monday would have been
on
the other
Mondays.
guess. Yeah.
On Mondays, you've earned 803 trophies. On Tuesdays, you've earned 711. Though your second most is actually Sunday with 773.
For a while, like
Now,
Monday through Wednesday were like my days off. So that's kind of where I was thinking. Recent, like within the last like 2-ish years, it's been Tuesday, Wednesday. But that was where my thought process went.
now, as for when you get your trophies, it is a near perfect bar that goes up and down around this particular time. Like at this time it peaks, but around it, like you can see the escalation. So you peaked at do you have a guess at what time you think you've earned the most trophies?
I have no idea. Probably sometime in the evening, but
At 11 p.m. Nick, at 11 p.m. you've earned 953 trophies. And next to that, at 12 a.m., you've earned 756, and then it teeters off. At 10 p.m. though, before you earned 700. So yeah, at 11 to 12 is when you're cranking out those trophies.
So I know that this isn't tracking specifically platinums, but I do think it's kind of funny where like some of those ones, like that would be like, an hour or two sometimes into my play session for like a given evening. And like, if I'm like, I got to finish this game, like I feel like that is around the time when a lot of those are getting
the second
done.
wind kicks in and you're just like, yeah, here we go. I got to lock in now or it's losing the momentum.
Yeah. That was very interesting. I had no idea that PSN profiles had that much information about my daily life logged.
Yeah, you could build out someone's fucking life like plan. Like, okay, so he's available most on these days and around these times. That's when I know, and I gotta look at PSN profiles when I gotta hit up Nick. I'll text him at 12 a.m. You up? Well, there you go. I think that here's the thing, right? Trophies are not easy to get. I mean, part of it is to be fun while you're having it and enjoy the process. But sometimes it's also a little bit about that, like, fuck, I'm so close and I just gotta try again and again until I score. I get the thing, I get the high score, complete the challenge, or play enough rounds of zombies, I guess, if you're talking about me. And I think trophies in some way, shape, or form would be cool to be celebrated. Even if it's some sort of like proprietary PlayStation, maybe like a PlayStation website where you can just go and be like, your page, and then you can highlight your trophies or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some way to celebrate that would be cool. Is it a gimmicky merch opportunity? No, I don't think so. I don't think Nick thinks so either. Mm-hmm. Our ideal one, I mean, Nick, I think that is a good idea of like, obviously like art book or some sort of, like, for me, I think like soundtrack would be super awesome. If we can get like a CD of a soundtrack or something, or like a CD and digital download, or one or the other, whatever. That would be awesome as a way to both celebrate the artistry of the game as well as kind of, get a reward, something that I can put on the shelf and be like, hey, I earned that,
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool. But yeah, there you go. That's our very off the track discussion about franchise rewards from PlayStation. Let us know, obviously, what you think. You can follow us on social media. All of that stuff is down in the description. You can go check it out. Nick, anything else about that's all, I mean, that's all I got to say about this franchise reward stuff.
Yeah, beefy podcast this week, so hope you all enjoyed that.
And didn't intend on it.
Nope.
I asked Nick if we were going to finish an hour and a half ago, before the stream started.
Yep. But yeah, if you're interested, you can become a YouTube member. I know we've been pushing that a little bit recently.
Oh, sorry, Nick. I got to cut you off for one last stat. I got to fucking hold it over you. All right. I am an elite gamer. So at the top of the profile, I don't know how I missed this brag. So it has your average completion rate. You have an average completion rate of 40.56%. 41%, baby. 41.10%. Also, you have an average of 1.26 trophies per day. 1.41.
Oh, 1.41.
1.41. And also, I'm not saying I'm popular, but you get do you use this at all? You have 43 views on your account. Someone's looked at your profile 43 times. I'm sure I was at least like 3 of those. But for me, 585. 100%, 500 of those are me. So definitely inflating my numbers. But anyway.
That's still 85 aren't you? That's still crazy. All right.
All right, I'm done.
But yeah, if you did enjoy, give us a like or rating on YouTube and everything. And with all that said, have a good night, a good morning, and a damn good time.